Sun today, the high getting into the low 90s. Chance of a pop-up summer storm returns this afternoon. Atlanta's most accurate, dependable forecast is coming up. Could be a rougher than usual commute for some drivers today through downtown Atlanta. Stretch of Peachtree Road between John Wesley Dobbs Avenue and William Street remains shut down until further notice. The emergency closure stems from the crumbling exterior of the Marriott Residence Inn that's at 134 Peachtree, where there's a concern that loose bricks could fall onto the sidewalk and road. Detours are currently in place. We're going to hear from the traffic team in about 2 minutes to update your commute all around town. An estimated total of 1,600 protests are planned today around the U.S. to mark 5 years since the death of Georgia Congressman and civil rights leader John Lewis. The day of action is dubbed Good Trouble Lives On. Helen Butler with the group the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda says their event starts at 4 at the John Lewis Mural in downtown Atlanta. It will include a march.
That march will culminate right at historic Ebenezer Baptist Church, where Dr. King served so long.
Other events planned today all around Metro Atlanta. They included the King Center, downtown Decatur, Marietta, and in Kennesaw. A memo from Walmart leadership shows the company is eliminating a market coordinator job that supports managers. That means hundreds of cuts to store support and training jobs.
Walmart is also cutting some coach and coordinator roles at Walmart Academy. The world's largest retailer has posted strong sales growth in recent years as consumers prioritize groceries and other essentials and look for bargain prices.
But Bloomberg's Denise Pellegrini says Walmart's also feeling the pressure from the volatile pricing environment and has warned it'll need to raise prices because of higher tariffs. Looking to see the next move on Capitol Hill after the Senate overnight narrowly passes an additional $9 billion in budget cuts being pushed by President Trump. Most of that money will be taken from foreign assistance programs like USAID, while $1 billion will be cut from the group supporting public radio and TV. The plan now heads to the House for a possible final vote. The president must sign that bill by late tomorrow night for it to be included with the spending package that passed earlier this month. Meanwhile, as opioid overdose deaths fall for a second straight year, a program with the Atlanta-based CDC leading that trend has been stalled because grant money approved by Congress is being delayed.
They help support by providing or paying for naloxone, also known as Narcan, which is an overdose reversal drug. They help pay for staff that would follow up with people who survived an overdose to make sure they then got into treatment.
Medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder says there is a $1 billion backlog of grant payouts by Health and Human Services, which it says is checking for waste and fraud. It is 9:03. The Mark Arum Show begins in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather. Let's start with Triple Team Traffic. Here's Smile Mark McKay.
Still difficult into downtown. Judd 7585 northbound, University Avenue up into the I-20 region. Crash went to the shoulder in northwest Atlanta. Georgia State Patrol working at I-75 southbound at Northside Drive. Just off the horn with traffic trooper Brad, he spotted a crashed vehicle into the back of a dump truck right at the end of the ramp from 75 south to 285 east. That's the lower ramp on exit 259. And that west side perimeter in Cobb County is moving slowly, Ashley Fresca.
A few cars on the shoulder. A crash on 285 northbound past South Cobb Drive has you on the brakes leaving Hollowell Parkway, but the ride stays sluggish into Vinings, and then across 285 eastbound over to New Northside Drive. Triple Team Traffic, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Hot and humid, high 92. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 93. Saturday, the heat goes on with a high of 94.
78 degrees right now in Loganville, 80 degrees in Smyrna, 80 in Midtown Atlanta at 9:05. More news at 9:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Judd Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome, friends, to this $1,000 Thursday edition of the Mark Arum Show. Yeah, Thursdays have gotten a whole lot better, haven't they? Not one, not two, but three chances for you to win $1,000 during my program alone. 7 chances in toto to win $1,000 on 95.5 WSB. I'm going to give you your first keyword for $1,000 Thursday in just a minute or two. All you got to do is enter that keyword into the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash. And you, my dear listener in the North Georgia metro Atlanta area, could be $1,000 richer. 7 folks going to win $1,000 today on WSB Radio. Very exciting. Got a massively big show for you. Peter Greenberg, our travel expert, is going to join us live at 10:35. Sadly, we got to keep talking about that Epstein case. We're going to go up to D.C., get the latest from ABC News. On the show yesterday, we brought you the live breaking news of Israel striking Damascus, Syria. Colonel Jeff McCausland, military analyst for CBS, is going to join us talking about that strike and the Russia-Ukraine war. A lot of moving parts in that in the last couple of days, so the colonel is going to join us. I want to start, though, Deborah, with a local story. I have been an unabashed fan of Coca-Cola for my entire life, which is odd because we didn't have soda in my house growing up. Or not soda that anyone wanted to drink. My mom was a fan of like diet raspberry ginger ale, like and tonic water. Those were the only carbonated beverages in the Aram household. So when I'd go to a friend's house and their parents had the fridge stocked with Coca-Cola, I felt like I was Indiana Jones. Seeing that golden statue, remember, and he takes it and puts the sandbag, like it would be glowing in the fridge. I just loved Coke. Even when I lived in New York, which is Pepsi country, I would, if I went to a restaurant and said, "Can I get a Coke?" and they're like, "We have Pepsi, is that okay?" I'd be like, "Nah." I mean, I'm a Coke fan. And I love the fact that the Atlanta is the home of Coca-Cola. I'm a history nut. I collect Coca-Cola memorabilia. I'm a Coke fan. Okay, that's it. I'm a Coke fan. Not that you disagree. And we've done a number of shows on Coca-Cola, the history of it, the origins, the changes. Obviously, we've talked about that new Coke episode in the 80s. So when Coke is in the headline, I have a news alert for Coca-Cola on Google. So I get ticked off whenever there's a big Coke story because I know a lot of listeners work for Coke, and certainly even if you don't work for Coke or didn't work for them, you love it. It's the official beverage of the South. So we had a Coca-Cola story pop up yesterday, Deborah, and from an unexpected source. Well, I know President Trump loves Diet Coke, or he used to. I don't know if he still does. But he announced yesterday that he is instructing the Coca-Cola company to do what?
Yeah, this might bring the nation together. You know, President Trump is a fan of Coca-Cola, right? He's got that button on his desk at the White House. Well, he posted on his Truth Social that he has actually spoke with somebody at Coke about only using real cane sugar in all the Cokes. Now, normally you have to look for the glass bottles, or you guys call them Mexi-Cokes, right?
Yes.
You normally have to look for those, but he's talking about all Cokes across the board. Anything here in the U.S. would have that same sugar, and his comment was, it's just better. Now, Coke itself has not made any official announcements if this is true, if they spoke to him, if they're going to make any of the changes.
I am a fan. Well, I mean, the high fructose corn syrup Coke is what, you know, if we go to the vending machine right now, you'll get that, and I love it. But we used to call it kosher Coke because so you can't have corn during certain Jewish holidays. So Mexican Coke was also known as kosher Coke in the Northeast, and it does. I prefer the taste, but it's more expensive, right? Because you got to import it, you got to do all this special stuff. But I mean, listen, we haven't had sugar cane in Coke in the United States since 1984. So Vinny's whole life has been drinking the high fructose corn syrup Coke, which is, you know, what you'll see on the shelves at Publix and Kroger and Quick Trip today. So I think this is, I mean, I'm all for it, but I'm pretty sure that President Trump, A, doesn't have the power to tell Coca-Cola, hey, I want pure cane sugar Coke, and B, I don't think Coke would want to do that. Now, I'm opening up the phone lines here for the first segment of the show because I just want to make sure I'm not speaking out of turn. Because, again, we've done a lot of shows on the history of Coca-Cola and going back to 84 when the decision was made to replace cane sugar in American Coke with high fructose corn syrup. It was a cost savings measure back in the day. The corn syrup was cheaper for Coke to get, but it also, if I'm remembering correctly, it helped the corn growers in the Midwest. It was a great way to, you know, get more product, more corn from our farmers and find a use for it. So it was cheaper for Coke to make, and it gave our farmers a boost. Now, what I want to know from Coke insiders, and you can use an alias, you can, you know, use a fake name, whatever you want to do, but is there any world any reality where the Coca-Cola company would take this order from President Trump and then say, okay, we're not going to use cane sugar in U.S. Coke anymore. Well, I mean, we're not going to use high fructose corn syrup in Coke anymore. We'll go ahead and make the switch to cane sugar. I from my memory, again, we've talked about this for decades here on the Mark Arum Show. I don't think that Coke is going to want to do that, because it's going to cost too much. And I'm not sure the folks on Capitol Hill, congressmen and senators from the corn-growing states, was it Iowa, right? Iowa cornfields, Nebraska.
Most of the Midwest, Wisconsin. I grew up on a corn, working up in a cornfield.
Like those farmers depend on corn to make the high fructose corn syrup, and they would lose a lot of business if the leader in the soft drink world, Coca-Cola, says, all right, we're done with high fructose corn syrup. I don't want to speak out of turn, though. If you have inside knowledge, whether you work for Coke, worked for Coke, or work Coke adjacent and have any insight on that, I would love to hear from you. The phones are open. Vinny will take your call at 404-872-0750, 404-872-0750. Do we know, Deborah, and maybe you can check when we go up to, I'm going to go up to D.C. in a second, do all, like, does Mountain Dew, does Pepsi, Sprite, is there any soft drink in the U.S. that actually uses cane sugar instead of high fructose? Can you check on that for a second? All right.
My grandfather worked on a sugar farm, so you did close some sugar farms when they made that switch over to high fructose corn syrup too. So there was a lot of sugar farms in the South that ended up closing.
All right, Coke insiders, I'm leaning on you today. 404-872-0750, or hit me up on social media if you don't want to come on the air. Slide into my DMs. At Mark Arum, MarkArum. All right, let's go up to the nation's capital. Joining us on the show, White House correspondent John Decker. John, good morning, my friend. Yesterday during the show, we were dipping into the impromptu press conference yesterday with President Trump in the White House. And I want to talk to you about the comments he made about the future of Fed Chair Jerome Powell. You were in the room with the president. What were the big takeaways from your point?
Well, that's right. I think it all started actually the day before. I asked the president a number of questions regarding Jerome Powell, including when was the last time he spoke with Jerome Powell? What did they talk about? And the president told me he spoke with Powell a few weeks ago in the Oval Office and told him, according to the president, he wasn't doing a good job. And then, Mark, I wanted to see his reaction. I asked the president, will you nominate Jerome Powell to another 4-year term? And I just wanted to see his reaction. He looked at me and he said 4 words: "You must be kidding." In any case, yesterday he was asked a variation on my question. Are you going to fire Jerome Powell? And the president said no. And I take the president at his word. Jerome Powell's term ends May of next year, Mark, and the president has indicated he already has a number of replacements in mind, including the president's chief economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, to replace Jerome Powell when Powell's term ends in May of next year.
Yeah, we had her reporting that prior to that Oval Office press conference yesterday that the president had drafted a basically "you're fired" letter, presented it to some folks inside his orbit, and as a result, we saw the markets start really low, dip yesterday on the threat that Powell might get fired from his job. But he kind of walked that back yesterday when talking to reporters.
He did walk that back. Now, it's the president. He can walk back the walk back. He can change his mind. But as he said yesterday, he does not intend right now to fire Jerome Powell. But he did have a caveat. He said if there's fraud, different story. And the president has suggested that the cost overruns concerning a building project at the Fed building could be the basis for that fraud. I think that's a stretch, but that's what the president is suggesting. And it certainly will be something that there's an inspector general over at the Fed. I'm sure that individual will look into these allegations that the president is making, but unlikely that this will be the pretext to fire Jerome Powell. And the Supreme Court, by the way, earlier this year indicated in a ruling that in order to remove the Fed chair, you need cause. You can't just fire him because you don't like the fact that he didn't lower interest rates. You need cause. And cause certainly would be something like the idea of fraud. But again, I think it's a stretch to say that the Fed chair is presiding over any fraudulent activity as it relates to those cost overruns over at the Fed building.
White House correspondent John Decker joining us on the Mark Arum Show. Even if Powell resigns or fired with cause and President Trump can, name his replacement, that doesn't guarantee that interest rates will suddenly drop, right? Because it's not just the Fed chair that makes this decision.
That is a very good point. So Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, is just one vote among Fed governors who vote in terms of whether to raise or lower interest rates or keep them unchanged. So even if you replace Jerome Powell with, let's say, Kevin Hassett, the president's chief economic advisor, there's no guarantee that even if Kevin Hassett wants to lower interest rates, the other Fed governors would go along with him on that decision.
John, final question. Anything we're looking forward to today at the White House?
Well, it's a quiet day as far as the president is concerned. He intends to, in the afternoon, sign some executive orders. I don't know what they are just yet, but sometimes those events get opened up to a very small group of reporters, and perhaps that's what the president will do later this afternoon. There is a White House press briefing with Caroline Leavitt. That will happen at 1 p.m. Eastern today.
All right, we'll see if Mr. Epstein is brought up during that press briefing.
I am sure he will be. Absolutely. No doubt.
White House correspondent John Decker. Great stuff as always, John. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mark. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
All right, we'll monitor the markets here. I did find some audio about, this is from Republican politician Kennedy, John Kennedy, U.S. Senator from Louisiana, on the possibility of President Trump firing the Fed chair.
If you fire the chairman of the Federal Reserve, you will see the stock market crash.
That's a big Trump supporter and Republican senator from Louisiana, John Kennedy, saying basically don't fire the Fed chair. The markets will crash. Markets open in 13 minutes. We'll keep an eye on them. You want some money to play the market? Yeah, you do. Or put it in the rainy day fund or have a pool party, whatever you want to do. $1,000 Thursdays here on the Mark Arum Show. Your 9 a.m. keyword, friends, is smile. Like Smile and Mark McKay. Smile, S-M-I-L-E. Enter the keyword SMILE into the WSB Radio app or WSBradio.com. You have until 9:59 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. Keyword is SMILE, S-M-I-L-E, S-M-I-L-E. Don't forget, if you could call after 9:59 from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you won $1,000. 9 a.m. keyword is SMILE. When we come back in depth on the big local story, is Coke going to be making a big change here stateside? But first, on this already steamy Thursday morning, let's go live to the traffic center. The latest from Mike Shields.
Yeah, slow on the west side perimeter markets. You try to make your way into Smyrna and Vinings on 285 northbound. The inner loop, trouble off to the right at South Cobb Drive, but that's enough to really cause the brake lights to glow starting back at Hollowell Parkway, exit 12. Also slow getting into Midtown. Crash still off to the right, 75 southbound at Northside Drive. They'll stay on and off the brakes once you merge onto the connector, getting down to Georgia Tech. This support is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Shop best of summer fruits at Whole Foods Market. Get organic yellow peaches for $3.49 per pound with Prime through July 29th while supplies last. Shop in store, online, terms apply. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
Oh, you say I am yours, and I believe.
Finding cures for childhood cancer. It's been our passion for years at WSB.
It's the 25th annual WSB Radio Carathon on July 24th and 25th.
And we need your help raising money to find and fund cures for childhood cancers and blood disorders.
More information in the WSB Radio app.
Or online at WSBradio.com. Thank you for your support of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
As the summer temperatures show no sign in dropping, I've settled into a new afternoon routine. It's called Xfinity On Demand and Chill. Hey, it's Mark Arum. Get off the air, go home, walk the dogs, and the dogs and I get comfortable in the air conditioning, and then we just chill out and watch a bunch of great stuff with Xfinity On Demand. If you like movies and television shows, Xfinity is the place to be. Amazing. Thousands of TV shows and movies available free on demand. And with Xfinity, you have access to all of your streaming services, whether it's Netflix or Hulu, Amazon Prime, Peacock, whatever you want, you can get it through Xfinity. So take up my summer routine, at least till the temperatures drop down, and it's Xfinity On Demand and Chill. Amazing in-home entertainment, amazing in-home internet. Everything from Xfinity is amazing. I suggest you check out all the amazing things Xfinity can bring to your home. Go online to Xfinity.com. Call 1-800-XFINITY. Or when the temperatures cool down, go to your local Xfinity store near you.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, with all the things we're reading, seeing, and living through these days, from rate cuts, election season, and now a new administration, now seems like a great time to make sure we have that comprehensive plan in place. You know, the one that covers all our financial bases.
There are occasions throughout the year where I feel like it's critical for people to engage their financial lives and get the information that they deserve from a financial advisory team. And this is one of those times, to be quite frank. So we ask that you call us if you have a minimum of $500,000 in your full portfolio. But we're going to do away with that minimum so that those folks can have an equal opportunity to understand what's in their portfolio as well. Now, you have to have some money, right? I can't help you to build your wealth at work, right? But I sure can help, I believe, with your 401k, IRA management. There's probably 2 or 3 things that'll surprise you that you may want to take action on. So the next 10 people that call in will work up either a portfolio x-ray, or if you feel like you need a full retirement plan, go to unleashyourmoney.com, click on portfolio x-ray, or click on full retirement plan. We think you'll be impressed enough, and we want you to become a client. There's no question about it. We believe that we are a very competent fiduciary advisory team, and we want to offer that to our listeners. Let Hoffman Financial Group actually show you how we perform, and I believe we perform at the pinnacle of this industry.
Call the Hoffman Financial Group at 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Today should be marked in history as the day American and Mexican law enforcement closed the book on the reign of Chapo.
6 years ago today, El Chapo sentenced to life behind bars in a U.S. prison. He's in a U.S. prison, so he probably doesn't have access to Mexican Coke. Will we all be drinking, quote, Mexican Coke? President Trump says he told Coca-Cola, hey, let's go back to cane sugar Coke like you serve in Mexico and get rid of this high fructose corn syrup. Deborah, real quick, are there any sodas in the United States that are manufactured with real cane sugar?
Yeah, if you go down the soda aisle where they are in all little glass bottles, so IBC soda, Jones soda, I like that a lot. Boylan soda, I tend to get the black cherry ones. And then there is Pepsi made with real sugar and Dr. Pepper made with real sugar, but they're a little bit harder to find. You kind of have to order those.
Not the regular Dr. Pepper or
No,
Pepsi.
Not the regular Dr. Pepper.
Jones soda is good. I'll back you up on
like
that.
Jones soda.
All right, Scooter works for Coke, joins us on the Mark Arum Show. Scooter, what do you think? Does the president have the power to make Coke flip from fructose corn syrup to cane sugar?
Well, rumor around the campfire, Mark, is no, that's not going to happen. But, of course, as merchandisers, and since the 84 debacle with New Coke, we're going to probably do some sort of executive edition, maybe not a POTUS Coke or
that's
Coke
brilliant.
MAGA or anything like that.
That's
But
brilliant.
yeah,
So like
no,
a limited edition Coke product.
Absolutely. You know, we're marketing and merchandisers. That's what we do. But yeah, there'll be something. But to go across the board logistically, it's just not possible.
Is it because of cost, or what makes it impossible to make that full switch over?
There's a couple different options that kind of prevent that from happening at full scale. Obviously, people do like cane sugar. You can go to a lot of the big box stores, hardware stores, and things, and they'll offer that up in shrink wrap packs for $36 for different varieties of sodas. But yeah, you're not going to see it switch over. I mean, it would probably be healthier.
Sure.
But no, it's not going to happen. Not since '84. They learned their lesson.
Yeah. All right, Scooter, I appreciate it. I'm a big fan of your work, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Mark.
There you go. All right, so marketing-wise, Deborah, that's going to make sense, right? Coke just slaps on a presidential seal, limited edition presidential cane.
It's got to be in a gold bottle.
Yeah, something, a gilded bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the cost is too much. Dwayne, real quick, Dwayne, what do you have?
Hi, Mark. Love your show.
Thanks, buddy.
You mentioned, I don't know if you realized it or not, but you mentioned earlier both corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup. They're two different things.
Okay.
Corn syrup is fine. It's not foreign to your body. Your body knows what to do with corn syrup. It does not know what to do with high fructose corn syrup, which is why it's banned in every nation on planet Earth.
What?
Except for the United States of
Wow.
America.
I'm sorry, we got a break for news. Deborah, fact check that. Is high fructose corn syrup banned in every nation aside from the U.S.? If so, get RFK Jr. on the phone. We got to have a talk. Hey, your $1,000 Thursday keyword is SMILE, SMILE. Enter that into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBRadio.com/cash. Win $1,000. Listen to the Mark Arum Show.
Dave Baker here for my deck experts at Ben Hill Renovations. Still dragging your heels on that new deck? I get it. You want to make sure you find the right builder. You want Ben Hill Renovations. From their superior craftsmanship to their workmanship warranty, they are your one-stop shop when it comes to upgrading your outdoor living space. Visit their showroom or see them on the web at bhrenovations.com and schedule a free design consultation at your home. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Raise your hands, friends, if you're absolutely fed up with mosquitoes. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. Mosquitoes everywhere, but not in my yard, thanks to Breda Pest Management. Their licensed technicians will safely protect your family from mosquitoes and the harmful viruses that they might carry. And if your mosquitoes return within 30 days, only Breda will retreat your yard for free. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Summer's here, and so are the backyard parties, barbecues, and pool days. Is your house ready? Wise Guys Pro Wash can help get your home, driveway, and deck back to new in no time. Mention me, Chris Chandler, and get $70 off your next service. Book now at wiseguysprowash.com.
Plan today so you can potentially do the things you've always wanted in retirement. Listen Saturdays at 6 to Retire Ready with David Nicholas of Nicholas Wealth Management. Nicholas Wealth is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies.
It's our 20th anniversary at North Georgia Replacement Windows, and we're celebrating with our biggest sale in company history.
It's Ted and Jonathan. For a limited time, save 25% on beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and doors.
Celebrate with us and upgrade your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. Window and door shopping made simple.
Hurry, 25% savings ends July 31st.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 9:30. I'm Judd Hickenbotham. News is half hour brought to you by Beaver Toyota of Cumming. Our top story, it's a nationwide call to action today with roots right here in Atlanta.
John Lewis famously encouraged people to go out and make
Good trouble.
Now, protesters around the country will be out in force today as they draw inspiration from a late Georgia congressman.
Good trouble lives on is how the National Day of Action is being described, the name referring to the words of the late Georgia congressman and civil rights leader John Lewis. Some 1,600 protests are planned nationwide today, including here in Metro Atlanta. Helen Butler with the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda says their event kicks off at the John Lewis mural downtown.
We're going to be getting people activated. Our theme for this year is mobilizing block by block.
Events are also planned at the King Center, downtown Decatur, Marietta, and Kennesaw. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It is 81 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says we'll see a mix of clouds and sun today. High once again topping 90 degrees. Chance of a pop-up shower later on. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Georgia claims another victory in the labor market. Governor Kemp announcing today new jobs are coming to Hall County as King's Hawaiian expands its Oakwood facility. The food company plans to invest $54 million in its plant, which will create 135 new jobs. The new production line will produce more flavors of King's Hawaiian pretzel bites. Company says will be hiring for positions in management, maintenance, food safety, and quality control. Well, heads up if you're driving through downtown Atlanta this morning. Part of Peachtree Road is closed over concerns about loose bricks on a building's exterior.
The emergency closure of Peachtree Road between John Wesley Dobbs and William Street is a safety measure resulting from the deterioration of the facade of the building at 134 Peachtree. That is the home to the Marriott Residence Inn. DOT officials are concerned about the possibility of falling bricks. Sidewalks in the area also closed. The building is across the street from the Georgia Pacific Center and just down from the entrance to the Peachtree Center MARTA station. No word yet on when repairs can be done. The DOT says the closures will remain in place until further notice. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta fire crews are called out to a huge overnight business fire on Sawtell Avenue. That's near Highway 54 in southeast Atlanta at the site of two businesses involved in manufacturing and refurbishing wooden pallets.
Stacks of pallets, probably 15 to 20 feet high, and multiple stacks.
Assistant Fire Chief Derek Hullender says the distance between fire hydrants actually hurt their efforts. A ladder truck helped put out the flames. There were no injuries. Cause of that fire is under investigation. And a WSB News about your health. There is new evidence that this year's flu vaccine may be up to the job.
The research published in JAMA showed the flu shot not only helps reduce flu transmission among the vaccinated, but reduces cases among the unvaccinated as well, because less people are spreading the disease.
But reporter Michael George notes that when flu transmissions are high, the unvaccinated are not nearly as protected. It is 9:33 as we check your money. A positive start on Wall Street. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ are all up slightly. Now live team coverage of traffic and weather. We start in the WSB 24-hour traffic center and Mike Shields.
Joe, better news by the airport as we speak. All lanes starting to reopen on 285 eastbound. The outer loop at Riverdale Road exit 60 where we had a stalled out tractor trailer in 3 right lanes, and that was there long enough to cause over 2 miles of bumper-to-bumper traffic starting back around Old National Highway. Stick with 285 now as those delays will ease as you try to work your way to I-75. And still slow and go on the west side. Perimeter, a couple issues on the right shoulder on 285 northbound. The inner loop between South Cobb Drive and Atlanta Road, but all lanes are open. The sluggish as you work your way through Smyrna and Vinings. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 92. An isolated pop-up storm can't be ruled out. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 93. The summer sizzle continues Saturday with a high of 94.
It is currently 82 degrees in Woodstock, 79 in Palmetto, 82 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 9:34. More news at 10. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Jed Hickenbotham, 95.5 WSB.
We've all been
Jam
there.
starting at Langford Parkway.
Counting the minutes before we know we're going to be late because we couldn't count on a traffic app.
Jam from I-85 down towards Ponce. There is one thing you can count on. Triple team traffic on WSB.
Stay slow once you're inside the perimeter as well.
We know the highways. We know the streets. And we know the shortcuts.
75 northbound heading up to Cobb County through Marietta and Kennesaw.
And all you need to do is listen.
More experience.
More reliable. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Triple team traffic.
95.5 WSB. How Atlanta gets there.
I'm for transparency in that and in everything.
That's Republican Congressman Ralph Norman from South Carolina asked about the Epstein files, the latest on the Epstein story. We go to D.C. in 2 minutes on the Mark Arum Show.
Finley Roofing, the roof guys know that furry friends are family, and some need our help. In keeping with their connection to the community, Finley Roofing presents WSB's Dog of the Month. This Friday, we'll highlight a dog from Paws Atlanta. If you adopt them, Finley Roofing will pay your adoption fees. Listen Friday morning morning at 8:50 and visit WSBRadio.com/dog. Dog of the Month is presented by Finley Roofing, the Roof Guys, Paws Atlanta, and 95.5 WSB.
Hey, friends, is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking about surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Arum. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Game changer. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Listen, it doesn't cost anything for a second opinion. I want you to learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Call QC Kinetics today. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
Got a leaky pipe, heating, or cooling issue? Ace Hardware Home Services is around the corner with everything you need to fix it, including the expert to do the fixing. We're not just the helpful hardware folks. We're the helpful home service and repair folks, too. From plumbing to heating and cooling, the licensed and insured experts at Ace Hardware Home Services are ready to keep your home running smoothly all year long. Online at aceHardwareHomeservices.com or call 770-233-7787.
9:37 on this $1,000 Thursday edition of the Mark Arum Show. In case you missed the 9 a.m. keyword, here it is again. Smile. S-M-I-L-E. Smile. Enter SMILE into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBRadio.com/cash. You have until 9:59 to enter that, and then someone here in Atlanta is going to win $1,000. If you miss out 9 a.m., don't worry. Hang out till 10. A little after the news at 10:05, I'm going to give you the keyword in the 10 a.m. hour, and so on and so on. 7 chances to win $1,000 here on 95.5 WSB. And not only that, Deborah, you've got tickets to give away again at 11:37 to see
Sir Paul McCartney.
Sir Paul McCartney, yes. So all we do is give. Next week, though, we're going to ask as the WSB Carathon kicks off next Thursday. All the incentives online at WSBRadio.com/Carathon. If you want to jump in, get early tickets to the Mark Arum Show Listener Lunch or our comedy extravaganza at the Punchline Comedy Club. So many great incentives up there. You can pre-purchase them now at WSBRadio.com/Carathon. All right, joining us now from ABC News in D.C., our buddy Stephen Portnoy. Stephen, good morning. Try as President Trump might, this Epstein story is just not going away. What did we hear and read from the president yesterday?
Well, we heard the president saying that those who've propagated what he now calls the Epstein hoax are stupid people. And we read the president on social media saying that his past supporters have bought in hook, line, and sinker to what he calls BS. He says, let these weaklings continue forward because I don't want their support anymore. Well, who's he talking about? Is he talking about his FBI director, Kash Patel, or the deputy FBI director, Dan Bongino, both of whom for years talked about the idea that there's this Epstein list and it ought to be released? Is he talking about his vice president, J.D. Vance, who said last October, seriously, we need to release the Epstein list? Or is he talking about his own son, who said in June of last year, how is it that my father can be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? Last week, the Justice Department and FBI issued an unsigned, undated memo in which they said there is no client list and there'll be no further releases of the government's files on Jeffrey Epstein.
Stephen, when did this become a, quote, hoax? We've heard the president use that term before. Was he calling it a hoax prior to the November election?
No, that only started in the last couple of days after members of the president's own base started squawking following the Justice Department's decision announced last week that there'll be no further releases. Now the president doesn't want to talk about it anymore. He doesn't understand why people are talking about it, and he wants them to stop.
You know, President Trump's been referred to as Teflon Don, where nothing seems to stick against him with his base. Is this maybe a bridge too far for some Trump voters that he's blasting those that do want the Epstein files released?
There have been concerns along those lines voiced by people such as Steve Bannon. Charlie Kirk yesterday said people are very, very confused. Some people disappointed and mad, and they are owed an explanation. There are those who say that the Attorney General needs to do and say more about what decisions have been made here. She was asked in an interview on Fox News earlier this year if the Justice Department might release Epstein's client list, and she said in the interview, "Oh, it's sitting on my desk." She now says, and I'm paraphrasing and trying to characterize her remark in the most charitable way. She said she didn't understand the question, or she didn't know what was in the document, that it was sitting on her desk along with other papers that she hadn't yet read, and now it turns out there is no client list.
Stephen.
So there are some Republicans say that the Attorney General has to go, but the president has backed Pam Bondi and said she's not going anywhere.
Stephen, one development from yesterday today, it might not be related to this, but Maureen Comey has been fired from her position in the Justice Department. What do we know about that angle?
Very little, except to say that Maureen Comey, who, yes, is the daughter of James Comey, the former FBI director, was a prosecutor in the federal district of Southern District of New York, which is Manhattan. And that's the office that has prosecuted people such as Sean Combs and Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And Maureen Comey was across all of those cases. And so the question is, why would she suddenly be fired now? There's no formal explanation. The law appears to allow for assistant U.S. attorneys to be dismissed without any reason. And I guess one day she'll have to explain what she was told or what she believes. But so far, no information has been provided.
Yeah, no telling if it was because she was attached to the Epstein case or she has the last name Comey, which in some circles might be considered a fireable offense.
Who knew that one could be fired from federal employment based on who their parents are?
There you go. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News. Stephen, as always, appreciate your time.
You bet.
Honestly, I had no idea that James Comey's daughter was a federal prosecutor. I had no idea about that. She loses her job. Again, we don't know. I want to get more on this, though. ABC's Dave Packer.
Multiple sources tell ABC News the Justice Department fired a U.S. attorney from the Southern District of New York who recently led the prosecution of Sean Combs. While an assistant attorney, she was part of the team that successfully prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell and multiple gang members. But that U.S. attorney's name is Maureen Comey. She's the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey. Sources say President Trump privately vented about having a Comey work in his administration. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Now, it could have been with cause, right? Because the prosecutor's office basically failed to prosecute Sean Diddy Combs to the fullest extent of the law. Or she was, again, prosecuting Maxwell and Epstein, or maybe it is just her last name's Comey. What's funny, Deborah, is I keep watching Mr. Robot. I'm in the 4th season, by the way. And I did a deep dive on the show. I was like, how have I never heard about the show? It was on USA Network in the mid-2010s. And what's crazy about the show is the FBI, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I suggest you watch it on Netflix. It's amazing. The FBI guy keeps going, I don't know. I don't want to bring this to Comey. I don't want to bring this to Comey. Like they were using real-time people in the show. And in the beginning of the show, Obama was president. And they're like, well, what's the Obama administration? And then as the show progressed, President Trump got elected. And they're like, all right, what's the, it's crazy that they incorporated real people into the show. But every time they're like, the FBI guy, he's like, yeah, I don't want to bring this to Comey yet. It's crazy. Anyway, that show, by the way, was on USA Network, 4 seasons. Its last season had like a 0.15 rating. Like more people listened to this show than in Atlanta than watched season 4 of Mr. Robot nationally, which is crazy. It's such a good show, and it's got great reviews, like 98% Rotten Tomatoes.
The first seasons are definitely stronger.
Oh, so I'm about to start season 4. Is that where it falls off a little bit?
It doesn't fall off. It's just there's only so much that you could do with it, and I think it's also on USA. Not as many people were watching it because it was kind of buried.
I want to interview everyone.
The first couple seasons are.
I want to interview Christian Slater. He acted in it and it was produced. Did he? I mean, I don't doubt it. He's Rami Malek. Oh, what a great show. Anyway, I digress. All right, updating the U.S. flood. No new information about the flooding in Texas, but we are really seeing global support for the recovery efforts, Deborah. We heard of rescue crews coming from Mexico, and now the Czech Republic has sent help.
Yeah, 16 civilians and 4 cadaver dogs from the Czech Republic are joining the search and rescue teams here. Now, this comes from a partnership a couple years ago, back in 2024. There was a flood that hit the Czech Republic, and some Texas Air National Guard members were training there, and they jumped in to help them. So now they're saying, hey, you know, we're going to help and kind of return the favor.
Unbelievable. That's in how do you logistically bring the cadaver dogs from the Czech Republic to the hill country of Texas? Like that's, I mean, good for them. That's fantastic. That because we, you know, historically, if there's been a natural disaster anywhere in the world, the United States is usually first on the scene. Now, without USAID, that might not be the case, but it's nice to see other nations returning the favors that we've been giving for so long. So the Czech Republic, I think we might have a press conference from the authorities in Texas, the latest on the flooding there, but I do not have an updated fatality count or an updated missing count for you at this moment. But when I get it, I will pass it along to you. All right, this is a $1,000 Thursday. In case you missed it, your 9 a.m. keyword is SMILE, S-M-I-L-E, SMILE. Enter SMILE into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/cash/cash. WSBradio.com/cash, I think, is the way. Just do it on the app. It's so much easier. You have until 9:59 a.m. to enter. If you get a call after 9:59 a.m. from a number you do not recognize, answer it. It could be us telling you you want $1,000. Again, the 9 a.m. keyword is SMILE. And have no fear if you don't win with the 9 a.m. keyword right after the news at 10. I'm going to give you the 10 a.m. keyword, and then after the news at 11 and 11 a.m. keyword. So 3 times to win $1,000. Just here on the Mark Arum Show. 7 chances in toto throughout the WSB Radio programming day. Speaking of WSB Radio programming day, you get traffic updates all the time from Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center. Here's Mike Shields.
And Mark, you need him because we last spoke. We had a tractor-trailer blocking 3 right lanes near the airport on 285 eastbound, the outer loop right at Riverdale Road, exit 60. Well, they've been able to manage to move that to the right shoulder. All lanes have reopened, and things starting to ease up on the south side perimeter, traveling 285 eastbound between I-85 and I-75, but getting slow now in northeast Atlanta. Roadwork set up. Buford Spring Connector northbound as you approach Georgia 400. That's set up in a right lane. This support is brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Head to your local Whole Foods Market and celebrate their Summer Fruit Fest with up to 40% off in-season fruit and more. Start saving now through July 29th. I'm Mike Shields, 95.5 WSB.
He's the guy at the desk next to you.
So if you can't handle your real face, then don't tell me how to handle my life.
He's your co-pilot for the ride home.
They have a lot more money now because they stopped kneeling.
Eric Von Hessler.
Things are going to get broken.
Eric Von Hessler.
Today at 3.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Every time I go somewhere, they seem to find me and my delicious, apparently, Yankee blood. Hey, it's Mark Arum here. I love summer in Georgia, but some things bug me and I gotta vent. Ankle biting, ear buzzing, face swatting, disgusting little germ factories. Mosquitoes everywhere this time of year, but not in my yard, thanks to Breda Pest Management. Licensed Breda techs, the best at safely protecting your family and pets from mosquitoes and the harmful viruses that they may carry. More rain? No problem, folks. If mosquitoes return within 30 days, only Breda will come back and retreat your yard for free. If you've got bites in places that bites shouldn't be, it's time to quit your itching. Be the superhero for your family and eliminate mosquito-borne viruses in your yard with one call to Breda. Breda, they handle bugs and critters. BREDA Pest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
You've worked hard to make your home energy efficient, but did you think about your garage door? It's the largest opening in your house. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of all Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. This summer, save money on your energy bills and replace your old door with a beautiful, energy-efficient garage door. We offer affordable prices on a huge selection of styles, colors, and custom features. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Here's what you'll get at Wolfpan European Auto Repair in Roswell. Honest pricing, factory-trained certified technicians, and real car lovers working on your Porsche, BMW, Audi, Mercedes-Benz. Just search Wolfpan Auto Repair and see the difference.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's Best Choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks.
That's right, Dale. When the summer is hot, America's Best Choice will keep your home cool with premium energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. No pressure, no gimmicks. Go to abcwind.com to schedule a free in-home estimate today. America's Best Choice. Quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
First impressions matter, especially in the summer. Wise Guys Pro Wash will make sure your home makes the right impression. Soft wash, safe results, and zero hassle. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your home, driveway, deck, or roof wash. Book at wiseguysprowash.com.
Hot water heater just not cutting it anymore? You don't get that piping hot shower you want every morning? Hey, it's Mark Aaron back from my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Check out this amazing deal. New water heater, only $29.99 a month, and make no payments for 3 whole months. Or you can go tankless, only $59.99 a month, and you can enjoy that lovely, endless hot water. Same day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. Get that new water heater now. Save a ton of money. Just go online to reliableair.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see "Get a phone on us," get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/fax. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land.
How about that? 70 years ago today, Disneyland opened in Anaheim, California. I'm surprised, Deborah, that Christina Edwards didn't take today off celebrating the 70th.
Well, it's Disneyland. I think if it was World, she'd be there.
Disney World's way better than Disneyland, right? I've never been to Disneyland, but isn't Disney World way bigger and better and funner and cooler?
It's bigger, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, that was 70 years ago today. If you are flying to California to go to Disneyland, in the near future, you might be able to start bringing liquids onto the plane. We told you now you can leave your shoes on through security, but Kristi Noem says maybe we'll start be able to pack liquids in our carry-on, Deborah.
Yeah, she says that she is pushing for the TSA to ease up on some of those regulations for liquids along with aerosols and gels, because right now we're limited to 3.4 ounces in our carry-on. Everything else we have to check. But she says along with the shoes, technology has been improving every year. So the goal is for us to not have to unpack anything, like just put our bag on, let it go through the scanner, and we should be able to walk through. And they want to get it down to 60 seconds per passenger.
That would be fantastic. I'm all for bringing. I never pack liquids because I know, but I'm also an idiot, and I will often, especially on return flights, where you fly somewhere and Delta will give you that little pony of water, and I'll take that little water bottle and put it in my backpack. And like when we went to Vegas, I got the little pony of water, put it in my backpack. And then oftentimes I'll forget it's in my backpack when I go back to the airport. And then I'm that zooch ball in security that they're like, oh, we got to check your bag. You left your water bottle in there, idiot. That's me. So hopefully, look at Kristi Noem. She's just like, in 12 months, it's like, we're not even going to do metal detectors. Just come on board. There's no security. It's just a free for all. Don't worry about it. We trust you. Box cutters are allowed now. You can bring switchblades. Well, I mean, all joking aside, the shoes now, and hopefully you'll be able to bring in liquids again. It's really annoying when you have a full bottle of Coke, right? We were talking about Coke. Like you say, you spent $4 on a Mexican Coke outside of security at the airport, and you got to chug it because you can't take it on pass. So All right, Christy Noem. She might have her critics, but she's trying to get us through security a lot quicker. Speaking of flying to California, apparently the Attorney General Pam Bondi is headed out there. Elena Treen at the White House.
Yeah, so Attorney General Pam Bondi, as well as the Interior Secretary Doug Burgum, are traveling to California to visit Alcatraz. Remember, one of the most notorious former prisons, I should say. It has been shuttered now for roughly 60 years. But look, it's interesting because this comes just 2 months after we know President Donald Trump had floated the idea of wanting to rebuild and reopen Alcatraz. In a May post on his Truth Social, he essentially said that he was directing the Bureau of Prisons, which Bondi, I should note, oversees, together with the Justice Department and FBI and Homeland Security, to, he said, reopen a substantially enlarged and rebuilt version of Alcatraz. Now, look, this is interesting from my conversations, and granted, this kind of came out of nowhere this week. These were conversations I had back in May when the president had first posted about this. They said that he thinks that rebuilding it would be a great symbol despite it having been shuttered now for roughly 60 years. Part of that was because it was really expensive to keep it open and operating. Now, the source I spoke to, who's familiar with the plans for Bondi and Burgum today, didn't give me a lot of details, but then we did get this message from the office of former House Speaker, but now Congresswoman Nancy Pelosi. They essentially told us that they had been advised that Bondi and Burgum would be making an announcement at Alcatraz before tours there open today on the island. All to say, it does seem like they are getting kind of ready and gearing up to make an announcement about potentially reopening the prison. Now, questions, of course, that I've been getting are, is this, some sort of distraction with all of the Epstein case and criticisms of it? That's still to be seen, but more on that later, and hopefully we'll get some images of their visit there later today.
All right, Elaine Treen at the White House. So Pam Bondi heading to Alcatraz, and we'll have an announcement there before the tours begin. I'd kind of forgotten that President Trump wanted to floated the idea of reopening Alcatraz. And I thought, well, they got Alligator Alcatraz. Maybe that's it. He just likes the name Alcatraz. But I don't know what announcement the Attorney General would make except for reopening it, which is, we talked about it. It costs like $600 million to get it refurbished back from a prison. I've been to San Fran a couple times. I've never been to Alcatraz. Deborah, you been to Alcatraz?
No, same thing. We went to San Francisco, but never made it out to Alcatraz.
Yeah, I don't see the...
Really?
I'm scared of jail. I'm scared of
Me and
prison.
Leslie went on a tour.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
it was an audio tour. It told you all about it, all the ghosts.
The only jail tour that I enjoyed was old Newgate Prison in Connecticut. We did it on a school field trip. It was like a colonial prison during the independence, the War for Independence with England. That was kind of cool. But I wasn't scared of that. I don't want to visit jails. I do not want to visit jails. Hey, 9 a.m. keyword, $1,000 Thursdays. You got a minute to enter it. SMILE, S-M-I-L-E, SMILE. Don't worry, though. I'll give you a new keyword in 10 o'clock hour after news. Next.
Welcome to Window Wisdom with North Georgia Replacement Windows. Today we're talking with window and door experts Ted Kirk and Jonathan Cullum, owners of North Georgia Replacement Windows. Ted, can you explain how the Infinity fiberglass windows can give us more daylight and bigger views in our home?
Because our Infinity Ultrex fiberglass is so strong, the frames of our windows are thinner, which gives you more daylight and bigger views. Our windows are not big and bulky like other replacement windows.
What if someone wants a window where there isn't one already?
Fortunately, we're licensed general contractors, and we can help with that. Our windows come in both a new construction and replacement option, so we're always guaranteed to have the perfect fit for your home.
How do the Infinity fiberglass windows measure up when it comes to energy efficiency?
Infinity windows have super energy efficient glass that will lower your energy bills and protect your floors, window treatments, and home furnishings from fading out from the damaging sun's UV rays.
Jonathan, anything else you'd like to add?
Just remember, if you're replacing your old windows that are leaking or rotting, choose Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows, or you're giving up both daylight and views. And not only are our fiberglass windows more durable, they are truly beautiful windows.
Jonathan and Ted, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge, experience, and expertise. And right now at North Georgia Replacement Windows, it's our biggest sale in company history. You'll get 25% off your project, plus up to 18 months no interest, no payment financing. Now that's big. 25% off your project, plus up to 18 months no interest, no payment financing. And you need to hurry. These big offers end July 31st, 2025. Visit our beautiful showroom in Alpharetta and check out all the offer details online at ngwindows.com. ngwindows.com.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk. News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
Good morning. It's 10 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. News this hour is brought to you by TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. WSB's top local story. On the 5th anniversary of his death, a legendary Georgia congressman is inspiring demonstrations nationwide. Protests against the Trump administration are planned across the country.
Good Trouble Lives On is how the National Day of Action is being described, the name referring to the words of the late Georgia congressman and civil rights leader John Lewis. Some 1,600 protests are planned nationwide today, including here in Metro Atlanta. Helen Butler with the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda says their event kicks off at the John Lewis mural downtown.
We're going to be getting people activated. Our theme for this year is mobilizing block by block.
Events are also planned at the King Center, downtown Decatur, Marietta, and Kennesaw. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It's 87 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says expect some clouds, some sun, with pop-up showers not out of the question. Highs around 92 today. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. A serial burglar is cooling his heels in the Gwinnett County Jail today. Gwinnett County police say between June 2nd and July 7th, officers responded to 9 reported burglaries at the Brentwood Downs Apartments on Pleasant Hill Road. And at least twice, the victims were home during the break-ins. Police say 28-year-old Darius Stokes was ID'd with forensic evidence, and they didn't have to go far to find him. Stokes lives in the same apartment complex. Heads up, drivers, you'll want to avoid the area of Peachtree Street and John Wesley Dobbs Avenue. The roadway is closed out of concern about bricks possibly falling from a building.
This closure on Peachtree Street in the heart of downtown near the Georgia Pacific Center and the Peachtree Center MARTA station also affects sidewalks in the area. The closure on Peachtree between John Wesley Dobbs and William Street is due to the deterioration of the exterior of the building at 134 Peachtree, which is home to the Marriott Residence Inn. There are concerns that buckling bricks may fall. The closures will remain in place until further notice. MARTA has indicated the closure is not impacting bus or streetcar service. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
The latest snapshot on the economy is a pretty good picture. Correspondent Jim Ryan says tariffs don't appear to be making an impact on the jobless rate.
In the week ending July 12th, 221,000 out-of-work Americans signed up for unemployment benefits, 7,000 fewer than the week before, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Analysts were expecting initial claims to rise.
Applications for unemployment aid are a proxy for layoffs. New jobs are coming to Hall County, by the way, courtesy of a Hawaii-inspired food company.
Governor Kemp announces King's Hawaiian is expanding its Oakwood facility. The food company plans to invest $54 million in its plant, creating more than 135 new jobs. The new production line will produce additional flavors of King's Hawaiian pretzel bites. The company says it'll hire for positions in management, maintenance, food safety, and quality control. King's Hawaiian was founded in 1950 in Hilo, Hawaii, and established a presence in Georgia in 2010. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
They're calling this a landmark study. Scientists say babies born with 3 biological parents kept the kids from inheriting deadly conditions from their mothers. Yes, 3 parents.
This technique resulted in the birth of 8 healthy babies who showed no sign of mitochondrial diseases. It's a technique where scientists swap out the damaged mitochondria, or power sources in a cell, for healthy mitochondria from a donated egg.
Maria Chang reports the study in the New England Journal of Medicine says these 8 babies were born in the UK, and it took a change in their law to allow it. It's 10:03, and the Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, it's time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And heading it up is my favorite smiling guy. He's Smiling Mark McKay in the 24-hour traffic center.
Good morning, Veronica. Still a difficult ride in the downtown on the connector northbound. Still haven't lost the brake lights, 75, 85 north. They're still lighting up north of Langford Parkway, trying to get above I-20. Get into Midtown, you're okay. The 75 ride toward Northside Drive is slow, and I'm looking at slow traffic out of Northeast Atlanta still on 85 leaving 400, and 400 is slow at Sidney Marcus Boulevard rolling south. Rolling north on a Midtown Buford Spring connector, single file in a left lane past construction on 13 north approaching the I-85 on-ramp. Smile Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Hot and humid, high 92. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 93. Saturday, the heat goes on with a high of 94.
Right now, it's 83 degrees in Alpharetta, 82 in Brookhaven, and 87 in Midtown Atlanta at 10:05. More news at 10:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Welcome back to the show and a good Thursday. No, and a good $1,000 Thursday to you. Mark Arum here, you there. It's 10:05, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. This is the Mark Arum Show, live Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to noon on 95.5 WSB. Core 4 with us today. Deborah, the executive producer of the program. Longoria, the stoic Eskimo on the other side of the takeout window. Vinny, 2 apps screens your calls. Coming up in just minutes, I'm going to give you another keyword in $1,000 Thursdays. Big congrats to Gina in Lawrenceville. She won $1,000 in the 9 o'clock hour right here listening to the Mark Arum Show. Congrats, Gina. Very happy for you. Don't worry if you missed out. I'm going to give you a keyword in the 10 o'clock hour, another chance for you to win $1,000. And then another keyword in the 11 o'clock hour. In toto, you're going to have 7 chances to win $1,000 on WSB, just like Gina in Lawrenceville did moments ago. Moments ago, Gina was a winner of $1,000. We've covered a lot in the first hour of the show. We started with what I think is a big local story. President Trump, I don't know if he asked or ordered, he says, the Coca-Cola company to stop using high fructose corn syrup and start using cane sugar. Back in 1984, Coca-Cola replaced in the United States cane sugar in Coca-Cola and replaced it with high fructose corn syrup. It was a cost-cutting measure back in 84, cheaper to get that sweetener than cane sugar. And I think a lot of it had to do with Congress as well, trying to get a lot of corn sold from our Midwestern farmers. And what better avenue than the world's biggest bottler and retailer of soft drinks, Coca-Cola. Now, Deborah, we had a claim last half hour from a listener that high fructose corn syrup is only legal in the United States and it's banned around the world. Is that true?
All right, so I did some digging here, and it's not banned completely. So a lot of countries, specifically in the European Union, weren't going to use it, so they decided to restrict the amounts that can be used, which kind of forced people to move over to natural sugar anyway. So you can still kind of get it, but people are already used to the natural sugar, so they're not really going to use it. But it's not banned completely.
All right. Now, we heard from a Coke insider, a Scooter. I'm assuming that was his nom de plume, not really his real name. But he said that it would cost too much to shift the whole production of United States Coca-Cola from high fructose corn syrup to cane sugar. But he did suggest that because Coca-Cola's got such a good marketing team, that because the president wants that cane sugar back, that he is they'll release a special presidential edition of Coca-Cola and getting the sugar. But if you want it right now, you can get it. It's called Mexican Coke, or you can get it as kosher Coke. But it is viable to get the cane sugar Coke here in the U.S. It's just it's a little more expensive and in fewer places. Or just go to the Coke Museum and you could. You know what? I've never been to Alcatraz and I've never been to the Coke Museum. That's on me.
Wow.
I need to go to the Coke Museum. Maybe Vinny can take me there one day. I'm assuming, Vinny, you grew up in the local metro area. That had to have been a field trip at one point, was your school going to the Coke Museum, the World of Coke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't drink that Beverly.
Beverly? Who's Beverly?
Oh, that's
God.
terrible.
Who's Beverly?
It's one of the Coke.
It's the international
drinks.
flavors
the
that they
international.
have.
Oh, all right.
It's like the last one.
Don't do it. Everyone knows. Don't do it.
Everyone knows.
All right. So Vinny will take me there. We'll do a little Mark Arum Show field trip. All right, this just broke. Another local story I want to talk about. And Deborah and Vinny and Longoria didn't get this breaking news, so I only have it. And it is in reference to the amount of people moving to the metro Atlanta area, right? Remember we had those guys on, Deborah, that were selling the We Full t-shirt. Like, so many people are moving here. Housing can't keep up, so housing costs are skyrocketing. You know what? Give me the fake breaking news sounder, Longoria, because this truly is breaking news. This just came to me in my inbox from our friends at U-Haul. U-Haul mid-year migration trends. You know what? Let me stop there because I want to give the keyword first before I go to the breaking news. Let me give you the 10 a.m. keyword so you can win $1,000 in $1,000 Thursdays. Thank you, Mr. Longoria. All right, 10 a.m. keyword, $1,000 Thursdays. Waves, like riding the waves, dude. WAVES waves. Enter the keyword waves into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com. You have until 10:59 a.m. to enter the keyword, win $1,000. Your 10 a.m. keyword is waves. WAVES waves. Don't forget, if you get a phone call after 10:59 a.m. from a number you don't recognize, answer it. Could be us telling you won $1,000. Keyword is waves. WAVES waves. Good luck. Maybe you won $1,000 like Gina in Lawrenceville did last hour. So happy for Gina. All right, back to the breaking news. Well, I'm calling it breaking news. All right, so U-Haul just sent me this. U-Haul mid-year migration trends. Now, I am from Connecticut, moved here from New York. Deborah, you moved here directly from Wisconsin, or was there a stop in between?
From Florida.
From Florida. Longoria, you moved here from...
Tejas.
Right from Texas. Did you guys use U-Haul when you moved here?
Yeah, I think so.
Deborah?
Yeah.
Oh, no, everything fit in the back of my
Everything.
truck.
So when I graduated college, I left like 2 weeks after I graduated college, or maybe like a month after, and I went to U-Haul to rent like a little mini U-Haul that I would, tow down in my car. And they were like, we're out of the little guys. They're like, we can give you the 35-footer or whatever, this massive thing. They're like, it's going to cost the same as the little guy, but we don't have the little guy. And I'm like, well, what about my car? They're like, oh, you can tow your car behind the U-Haul. So I drove down with my buddy Scratchy in this 45-foot, 100-foot, the biggest U-Haul you can get with my little Mazda 626 trailing it behind. So I came to, all my stuff was rolling around in the back because it's such a huge truck. Anyway, I did use U-Haul. So these are the mid-year migration trends from U-Haul, which basically they take the data, like where are people moving from to Atlanta? So do you any guess, we'll start with you, Deborah, the top origin state for U-Haul customers coming to Georgia? Where are we seeing the most people move to Georgia from?
I'm going to think I'm just going to say Ohio.
Ohio is number 8 on the list.
Okay.
Top origin states for arriving U-Haul customers, the stoic one.
I'd have to go with Florida. It's close.
Florida, number 1.
Yeah.
Good job. Vinny, you were going to say Florida, right? You would have got it as well.
I wasn't going to say Florida.
What were you going to say, Vin?
I was going to say New York.
New York, not in the top 10.
Wow.
Yeah, the Yankees not coming down here. Here are the top 10 states, origin states for arriving U-Haul customers into Atlanta. Number 1, Florida. Number 2, North Carolina. Number 3, Alabama. 4, Tennessee. 5, South Carolina. 6, Texas. 7, Virginia. 8, Ohio. 9, Illinois. And 10, Mississippi. So I guess Ohio really the only Illinois. Ohio and Illinois, two Midwestern states. Although I don't really consider Ohio Midwest. I mean, it borders like Pennsylvania. Like that to me is not.
Got the Great Lakes.
Yeah, you're a Great Lake. Top origin metro Atlanta metro areas for arriving U-Haul customers outside of Georgia. Number 5 is Nashville. I would have thought more people were moving from Atlanta to Nashville.
Yeah, I'd rather move to Nashville than
not vice versa. 4 Charlotte, 3 Tampa, 2 Orlando, and 1 Miami. So the top 3 areas, metro areas of people moving to Georgia, Miami, Orlando, and Tampa. I guess they're sick of Florida, man.
Hurricanes?
Yeah, hurricane. Oh, and the story yesterday, there's like a flesh-eating bacteria cooking down in Florida now. So people are fleeing. I don't know if I like Tampa. I do. I am not a fan of Orlando. I don't know. What pushes you out of Miami and go, all right, I've had enough. I got to move to Georgia. Like it's
Probably
just
because everybody keeps coming down there.
Is it too much partying?
Yeah.
You're getting sick of the delicious Cuban food. You don't like the beaches and the lady. I don't understand why. Unless you go broke. Like, all right, this Miami lifestyle is killing me. I got to move to Smyrna.
Miami Vice.
What? Yeah, exactly. Top origins inside of Georgia, folks moving to the metro area. Most folks moving to Atlanta, Athens, followed by Savannah, Augusta, Columbus, and Macon. So that is the mid-year U-Haul trends. You heard it live here first on the Mark Arum Show. I don't like that the most people moving to here are from Florida. Like, it should be the other way around. Like, we should be sending folks down there, not accepting folks from, you know what I mean? No offense to Florida. I vacation there.
Yeah, it's a good place to vacation.
I go fishing. But maybe we should limit that. Governor Kemp, maybe, we'll have immigration visas. To the state of
Build
Georgia.
a wall around Georgia.
Well, we don't need a wall, but we're going to be checking papers. we're going to be checking papers
Start
down.
carrying your passport, Andrew.
Yeah, we'll set up this huge thing in Valdosta, like just a checkpoint. We'll turn one of those way stations into a checkpoint. Like, what's your purpose of visiting Georgia? Oh, I'm moving here. No, I'm sorry, sir.
We have enough Florida.
You turn right around and go back to Tallahassee. We're good. We've hit our quota for the year. I always find that fascinating, though. And thanks to my friends at U-Haul to do that. That's the Atlanta, Sandy Springs, Roswell metro area. Top places where their customers are coming from. Florida, number one. I do not like that at all. $1,000 keyword in the 10 a.m. hour is WAVES, WAVES, WAVES. Enter that into the WSB Radio app or WSBradio.com/cash, and you could win $1,000. Who couldn't use $1,000? Everyone listening right now, not everyone. Most of you listening right now have credit card debt. And a large number of Americans with credit card debt feel they will always be in that financial dilemma. CBS News correspondent Jim Krasula picks up the story.
That's according to a new online survey from Bankrate.com. Nearly half of those people blamed emergency expenses for their credit card debt. Ted Rossman is an analyst with Bankrate.
We see that almost a quarter of credit card debtors, 23%, believe that they will never get out of credit card debt. That's a troubling statistic.
Rossman says of note, there's been a 7% increase over the past year in the number of Americans being in credit card debt for a year or more. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
One of the greatest moments of my life was when I became debt-free. In case you don't know, when I went to college, I was a horrible student, lost my scholarship, and my parents were like, well, if you want to keep going to school, you're going to have to pay for it. And which was, I'm looking back, like, best decision they could have made, best decision for my life. Like, it actually put the onus on me. Like, do you want to go to school? Well, you have to pay for it. I was a broke college kid. I had no money. So I was forced to, thankfully, back in the mid-'90s, they were giving credit cards to college kids like candy. So I went out and applied for every credit card I could. And for my last 2 years of college, I took some loans out, but the remainder of my tuition I put on credit cards. So I graduated with some student loan debt, but a huge amount of credit card debt. I mean, like an astronomical amount of credit card debt. And after, let's see, this would have been 2003 probably, working here at WSB for 5 years. And all the side hustles and everything, I was finally able to pay off my last credit card debt and my last student loan payment. Student loan payments weren't that bad. It was low interest rate and it wasn't a great amount of money. But when I finally mailed that last check, because this is before we used to have to mail our credit card payments in, folks. I can't believe that was a thing. But yeah, I mailed in my last check to whatever it was, American Express or whatever, and I became debt free. Man, like the weight of the world just off my back. Now that lasted like 2 months, and I went right back. No, I'm just kidding. I was debt free until credit card debt free until I got married. then the credit card, but I just paid off all my credit card bills after Vegas, so I'm debt free again. But that's no joke. Credit card debt, it's suffocating, and 23% of Americans think they will always be carrying some sort of credit debt. So I've been there, done that, folks. It's a journey. It's a long one, but do what you can to knock off that credit card debt. And winning $1,000 certainly will help that. 10 a.m. keyword, $1,000 bonus blitz, WAVES, WAVES, WAVES. Enter that into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash. You could win $1,000. All right, last hour's keyword was smile, as in Smile and Mark McKay. He is now manning the 24-hour traffic center.
Watching us slow down through Stockbridge, Mark, I-75 southbound, leaving I-675, and get past Eagles Landing, Hudson Bridge exit 224. You'll be on your merry way to McDonough. Still seeing slowing on the connector northbound, easing up though. Brake lights leaving Georgia State Center Park Stadium up past I-20. Still a rough go of it in northeast Atlanta, 85 leaving 400, and in northwest Atlanta, getting by a crash in the shoulder at Northside Drive, exit 252. This report sponsored by Blindster.com. Blindster.com is a family business making custom blinds, shades, and shutters. Give them a try and see why over 1 million windows have trusted Blindster. Smile and Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
Friday on Atlanta's Morning News, what used to be useful, Clark Howard says is now a problem child. Breaking stories from overnight too, and you'll hear the weekend forecast. We start at 5 a.m. on 95.5 WSB.
You want to get in shape? You hire a trainer and work out. You want to learn a foreign language? You get a tutor or an app to help you learn the language that you want to know. You want to get the hair regrowing in the top of your head? What do? Not a pill, not a lotion. You check out my friends at Advanced Hair. Hey, it's Mark Aaron back with you. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. Absolutely no one in hair restoration that I trust more than Advanced Hair. And check out this amazing summer sales event going on for limited time. Best price of the year. Advanced Hair Summer Sales Event. Get your free consultation today. 470-660-HAIR. That's 470-660-HAIR. One-day treatment, life-changing results with Advanced Hair. Your new hair guaranteed to grow. Plus, you can check out the incredible before and afters and take advantage of their best offer ever. That's 470-660-HAIR or advancedhair.com.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Right now, 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs are on sale for $2.99 with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
Imagine the relief of windows without annoying drafts or high energy bills. Window Comfort's making it easier than ever with buy two, get two free, no payments till 2026, and expert one-day installation. Go to windowcomfort.com for your no-pressure estimate today.
Better prices, better views. Window comfort, meant just for you. Window comfort.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now.
800-575-2798.
Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call
800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Belinda for the board-certified plastic surgeons at Marietta Plastic Surgery. They have a very exciting program that might be the perfect fit for you. Introducing the Aesthetic Vault, a curated members-only program for those that prioritize elevated self-care and personalized beauty. Enjoy exclusive perks, preferred pricing, and the freedom to apply your monthly bank towards the treatment you love, all for $149 per month. As a member, you'll receive 10% off med spa services and retail products, a complimentary consultation, skin analysis, and either a dermaplane or peel every year. Be among the first 100 members to lock in a lifetime monthly rate of $129. But you must call Marietta Plastic Surgery. Call 770-425-7575. That's 770-425-7575. Or visit MariettaPlasticSurgery.com. Terms and conditions may apply.
Home improvement projects can be a stressful guessing game. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The highest level of communication. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We'll make you comfortable and keep you informed with every step of your project.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and I'm so excited to invite you to our designer pop-up event July 19th and 20th. Come see extended lines of engagement rings, wedding bands, plus brand new wedding day and fashion jewelry from the top designers in the industry, like Veragio's handcrafted blend of the trends and looks of today with the timeless vintage beauty of the past. So don't just look for a ring, find the perfect ring at D. Geller & Son's designer pop-up event July 19th and 20th in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. RSVP online at dgeller.com.
Hi, this is Gina from Buford, Georgia, from Gina's Signature Salon, and I just won $1,000. And thank you, Mark Arum.
You're welcome, Gina. I love how she plugged the business, too. Go get your hair cut in Buford from Gina. She's $1,000 richer. $1,000 Thursdays continue here on the Mark Arum Show. Waves is your 10 a.m. keyword, W-A-V-E-S, waves. We brought you the breaking news that Attorney General Pam Bondi is heading toward Alcatraz today to give some sort of announcement. Elena Treen back at the White House.
Yeah, it's very unclear. I mean, obviously the timing is interesting, and anything now that the Attorney General Pam Bondi is doing is getting far more scrutiny than normal. But look, I think the big picture with the Epstein case is so many people in not just, MAGA world, but the president's fiercest supporters and even people here at the White House and inside the Trump administration are continuing to be frustrated with how all of this was handled. And one of the key questions, of course, has been, why aren't we not only seeing these files be published, we're seeing so many people, particularly a lot of high-profile MAGA influencers, argue that they should be published, but why aren't they addressing this in a more transparent manner? Because, of course, the president has really, part of the reason he was elected and he's so beloved by his base is because he's a speaker of uncomfortable truths. He's someone who normally would draw light to these types of controversies, and they feel he's being uncharacteristically quiet about all of this, all to say a lot of questions. If Pam Bondi, it's unclear if she's even going to take questions today when she visits Alcatraz, but of course that would probably be one of the number one things she's asked.
Elena Treen moments ago outside the White House. So, is this just a distraction, sending the Attorney General to Alcatraz to get away from the Epstein story? I don't know. We'll see, though, what the Attorney General has to say when she has her statement at the infamous Alcatraz prison. When we come back, travel expert Peter Greenberg joining us live. What does he think about keeping his shoes on through security? That's next on the Mark Arum Show.
Living in the South offers us a lot of things. We get to bop carpenter bees with a badminton racket, and we get to argue which is better, tea or sweet tea. We also get to use our deck 12 months a year, and that is awesome. Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations, my deck guys. You know when is a great time to get a new deck? Now. It's always deck season, and Ben Hill Renovations can turn your old backyard into outdoor living space. Host a party, watch the big game, cook out. It's all possible on your new deck from Ben Hill Renovations, and it's easy. Ben Hill offers free estimates at your home, or you can go to their showroom where you can see and feel the many different options for your new deck. Ben Hill offers a better contractor experience. Every project is built with future county and city code requirements in mind, and all jobs are backed by the Ben Hill Renovations Workmanship Warranty. See them on the web at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Save on summer's sweetest flavors at Whole Foods Market. Get 18 ounces of organic blueberries for $5.49 each with Prime through July 29. Make a no-bake berry crumble with whipped cream for an easy dessert. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Hey, friends, is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking about surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Arum. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Game changer. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Listen, it doesn't cost anything for a second opinion. I want you to learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Call QC Kinetics today. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
It's our 20th anniversary at North Georgia Replacement Windows, and we're celebrating with our biggest sale in company history.
It's Ted and Jonathan. For a limited time, save 25% on beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and doors.
Celebrate with us and upgrade your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. Window and door shopping made simple.
Hurry, 25% savings ends July 31st.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 10:30. I'm Veronica Waters. News this half hour is brought to you by my Metro Atlanta AMCO dealers. WSB's top story: while the economy has been volatile around the U.S., Georgia's reporting this morning a record-breaking number of jobs in June.
The state tops 5 million jobs for the first time in history, and Labor Commissioner Barbara Rivera Holmes says it didn't happen by chance. She credits businesses big and small for hiring and investing in the workforce. Georgia's unemployment rate remains unchanged at 3.5%, but 0.6 lower than the national jobless rate. Job sectors reaching all-time highs include financial activities, healthcare and social assistance, and leisure and hospitality. Jennifer Perry, 95.5 WSB.
Inflation is up, but that hasn't kept everybody from shopping as retail sales make a rebound in June.
Spending increased in all categories, including food and beverage and cars and clothing. The only pullbacks occurred in furniture and electronics store sales.
Money reporter Jill Schlesinger says the gains come after high tariffs were dialed back. More Americans are willing to repair a broken item at home rather than replace it with a new one. It's all thanks to the current economy and the rising price of goods. 4 out of 5 people in a new survey say they're taking better care of their stuff these days, too. And more than half say they're hitting up the hardware store more often for home fix-it items. A majority of those in the survey admit DIY projects make them feel more in control of their finances. A new report blames the pilot in that deadly Air India crash, which only one person survived.
These are potentially explosive claims about that Air India crash. The Wall Street Journal reports multiple U.S. officials say the captain deliberately turned off the fuel switches seconds before the plane came down. In the black box recording of their conversation, the first officer is heard asking the captain why.
The pilot denied it, but correspondent James Longman says the fuel was turned back on 10 seconds later, but by then it was too late. A Lilburn man faces charges after carrying out multiple burglaries, quote-unquote, close to home. Gwinnett Police Corporal Juan Marieto says 28-year-old Darius Stokes is accused of stealing items in 9 different burglaries at the Brentwood Downs Apartments on Pleasant Hill Road, where he also lived.
During these crimes, some of them, victims were in the home when the suspect forced entry into the home while they were asleep and stole multiple items.
He says Stokes stole multiple gaming consoles and in one case made it out with several $1,000s in cash. He's currently in the Gwinnett County Jail. This could be a rougher than usual commute for some drivers today through downtown Atlanta. A stretch of Peachtree Road between John Wesley Dobbs Avenue and William Street remains shut down till further notice. The emergency closure stems from the crumbling exterior of the Marriott Residence Inn at 134 Peachtree, where there's concern that loose bricks could fall under the sidewalk and road. Now, detours are in place. Keep an eye out for those. We're going to hear from the traffic team shortly to update your commute around town. A week after the TSA says travelers no longer have to take their shoes off at airport security, Homeland Security Secretary Kristen Noem suggests the next big change may have to do with liquids.
Suggesting possible changes to the amount travelers can have in carry-on bags.
During a conference hosted by The Hill, Nome did not give any details about the changes or how fast travelers may see them.
Sagar Magani reports right now travelers are allowed to carry on up to 3.4 ounces of liquid. 10:33, live team coverage of traffic and weather begins right now. Smiling Mark McKay is live in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
A lot of folks heading south away from the city, Veronica, into Stockbridge and stacking up I-75, leaving Highway 138 at the I-675 interchange. Get past exit 224 Hudson Bridge, Eagles Landing Parkway, moving much better. The perimeter highway is not in bad shape. There are some slow spots, especially across the north side perimeter between I-75, I-85 through Dunwoody and Sandy Springs. Real crowd, those leaving Buckhead on 400 south, approaching Sidney Marcus Boulevard, merging with that 85 slow zone that continues down to 17th Street. Smiler Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 92. An isolated pop-up storm can't be ruled out. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 93. The summer sizzle continues Saturday with a high of 94.
It's 82 degrees now in Villa Rica, 83 in Ball Ground, and 85 in Midtown Atlanta at 10:34. More news at 11 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
When traffic hits.
I-75 completely shut down north and south between McDonough and Locust Grove.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
Brake lights fill in on 316 westbound at Sugarloaf Parkway.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
Heavy police fire department activity.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
If you fire the chairman of the Federal Reserve, you will see the stock market crash.
That's John Kennedy, Republican senator from Louisiana. Still to come, the tenuous future of the Fed chair. But next, travel expert Peter Greenberg live, 2 minutes away on the Mark Arum Show.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelley Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for the Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Heavy rain, high winds, huge hail. Yes, Atlanta, we're in storm season. It's Mark Arum here. You might be faced with a roof repair or a replacement. Do not gamble with any contractor, and there are hundreds of roofers with little to no experience. I want you to trust the experts at Dr. Roof. Trusted name in roofing for over 35 years and backed by their industry-leading warranties. Dr. Roof doesn't cut corners. They're the best at protecting your biggest investment. Dr. Roof, done right, guaranteed.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world, protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Exciting news for homeowners out there. This is Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. My team and I are now proud partners with the iconic real estate brand, The Agency. As we launch the Atlanta market, we now have multiple offices covering Metro Atlanta. What this means for you as a home buyer or seller is that you will now have access to the agency's global resources. In this changing market, it is essential to hire the most experienced agency to represent you. And if you're a seller, you'll get the agency's proprietary marketing, which brings you more buyers, more offers, and ultimately sell your home for more money. My team and I are here for you as your real estate experts. In the meantime, we have all your answers about real estate every Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on WSB. And you can always reach out to me at InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, now partners with the Agency Atlanta.
10:37 on the Mark Arum Show. Sad news. Connie Francis has passed away at the age of 87. Her publicist confirmed she was recently hospitalized in Florida for, quote, severe pain. This is one of her biggest hits. This, Deborah, the younger listeners actually might recognize this song. It recently went viral on TikTok.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Connie Francis, born in, I believe, Trenton, New Jersey, passed away at the age of 87. Rest in peace to Connie Francis. I'm going to go out on a limb and say travel expert Peter Greenberg at one point in his life had a Connie Francis album. True or false, Peter?
Not only is that true, Mark, a little piece of trivia, she wanted to marry a singer, and her father would not let her marry him, and that singer's name was Bobby Darin.
No way.
Yep.
Peter Greenberg just turned star of the show, ladies and gentlemen. How about that? You just stole Longoria's fact of the day. Peter, before we get to the nuts and bolts today, please tell me you're not flying today.
I am flying today.
Oh, no. This is a bad day in travel history, Peter. 11 years ago, Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 shot down over Ukraine. And 29 years ago, I remember this vividly.
It went from a small red dot, which I initially mistook to be a flare, and it just burst into flames and then came straight down into the ocean.
29 years ago today, TWA Flight 800 exploded over Long Island right after it left Kennedy Airport bound for Paris. You remember?
Mark, I not only remember that. You know, I'm a fireman here in New York. We covered that story because it fell in the ocean not far from my house.
I remember the engine, right? Didn't the engine fall in like a neighborhood somewhere or something? I remember.
No, the engine did not. No,
Okay.
What happened was at about 8,500 feet, an explosion in the center fuel tank blew off the nose of that plane. It continued to climb, even though the nose of the cockpit fell to the ocean, and then it completely impacted the ocean, and that's where the wreckage was.
Wow, I remember the Daily News headline. I was still up in New York at the time, the day after that plane crash. That was did we ever get a reason for that crash?
Oh, yes. It was an explosion in the center fuel tank because it was an electrical short because the wires in the center fuel tank had been so corroded by the toxicity of the fuel in that tank over 21 years. It was an older airplane that when they turned on the pump to pump the fuel from one tank to another, the wires arced, and the rest is history.
Oh, that is not good. Peter, I want before we there's so many things I want to talk to you about. First off, I don't know if you're up to date on the story Deborah sent me the other day. Two dudes, I'm assuming, were smoking in a Delta bathroom, and then they got into a fight, and the plane had to land at some remote area. And did you see that story pop on your radar?
I did. Look, we're seeing more and more of that every day. In the old days, it was people just not on their meds or maybe over-medicated. Now people are just fighting. And the days of the unruly passenger have not gone away. The real problem is, what are the consequences? When you have to divert a plane, you're talking mid-five-figure costs for the airline. Some of the airlines have actually taken these passengers to court for all the damages. In most cases, they don't. It's sort of like the cost of doing business. I happen to think that's a bad idea. If you're going to do something like that, you need to pay for it.
Yeah, I was on that. I don't know if I mentioned to you or just told the folks listening here in Atlanta. One of the domestic flights I took in Japan on JAL, they had a warning. If you flush something down the restroom toilet that is not supposed to be flushed, they're going to sue you for any costs that are incurred. So the threat of legal action certainly will make people hopefully fly right. My parents were early adopters of Avelo Airlines, Peter, flying from New Haven, Connecticut down to Atlanta. Avelo shutting down, though, their West Coast base.
They weren't getting the loads. That's right. Effective this December, they're closing down in Burbank. But you know, the thing about an airline like Avelo, they've also taken a lot of heat lately for signing a government contract to fly those deportation flights of the immigrants that have been arrested by ICE. So there's a bad public image there, coupled by lower loads, and you're seeing some of the action here.
Wow. What kind of a market footprint does Avelo have?
It's small, but it can be effective because their business model is to fly between two cities that are underserved, like Burbank to Portland, or Long Island, MacArthur Airport down to Orlando. I mean, so they can actually have an impact if they can maintain their market share.
Interesting. Yeah, my parents raved about it. They said it was great. They flew out of little New Haven Airport and come down to Atlanta. It's cheap and it's easy and very little lines at security there. Speaking of security, Peter, your reaction to I was one of the first flyers domestically when I flew out to Vegas last Thursday. Did not have to take my shoes off through security. What a joy.
It is. And, you know, the technology exists now for you to be able to go through with all your lotions and potions and diet soda and water bottles, but they have not instituted it yet because they've not allocated the budget to install that new scanning equipment. Now, they've done it overseas. They've tested it in UK airports, and it works like a charm, but it has not been implemented yet at any airport worldwide yet. And so when the DHS Secretary, Kristi Noem, says the next thing up for bids is going to be being able to go through with all your liquids, she's right, you can, but they have to find the money to do it and train the agents.
How much time was, you know, if that eventually comes to fruition where you can carry liquids now on your carry-on, you don't have to take off your shoes, how much time are we expecting to save going through security?
Well, between 2 and 3 minutes a passenger, and that makes a big difference. Already the TSA is using biometrics, as you know, to scan your eyes, and that's saving about a minute off the inspection process. So we're getting better.
I still have to take my belt off, though, which I thought was, I thought the belt would go before the liquids.
Well, it all depends on the buckle, Mr. Cowboy.
I do have those big cowboy belt buckles. Travel expert Peter Greenberg joining us live here on the Mark Arum Show. I got an email from Amex yesterday. Apparently, I've hit my yearly allotted sales number, and I now qualify for unfettered access to the Centurion lounges provided by American Express throughout the world. American Express, though, is going to open a new kind of airport lounge designed for travelers in a hurry. What's this all about?
Well, there's no point in having a lounge if you can't get in. And if you're in a hurry, it's even worse. So the point is, the fact that they just gave you unfettered access, I hate to tell you this, Mark, when you got the card, they sold it as unfettered access.
I know.
No matter what you spent.
I know.
So they've oversold the lounge. By the way, they're not the only ones. We had the Delta Airlines problem with a lot of their lounges. Look, they've just opened up all these new Capital One and Chase Reserve lounges, which are great, but they're already oversubscribed. The point is, they're not really accounting for the fact of how many card holders they had who got the card for that perk, and they oversold it, and they're paying the price.
Yeah, flying back from Vegas on Sunday, there's no Delta lounge at the airport in Vegas. There is a Centurion, and there was a wait list, right? So you had to scan this QR code because it was oversold, and then it'll say, we'll text you when your spot opens. So
How long? Yeah, here's my question.
Yeah.
How long do they think you're going to the airport for? 3 days? I mean, the point is, and by the way, that was the first American Express lounge was in Las Vegas, the one you saw. Look, I've had a platinum card. You don't want to know how long. I don't even use the lounges because when I get there, they tell me I can only stay 10 minutes.
Really?
What's the point?
Oh,
Yeah.
They didn't restrict me on time, but so I have a card and my wife has a card, so we both scan separately. 3 minutes later, I got a text, hey, you're in. So I just assumed my wife would get one, shortly thereafter. So I went in. And then 15 minutes later, she hadn't received a text to come in yet. So I went to the front desk. I'm like, hey, my wife's standing out there. Can she come in? And they said, yeah. And we went in, and I don't know why.
Aren't you special? Aren't you special?
I guess they're like, well, Arum spends a lot more on his Amex than Dr. Mrs. Arum. So we'll.
Yeah, but remember this. It should never be about the spend. Membership has its privileges.
Exactly.
That's the American Express branding. And if you're going to get the card, you spent all that annual fee to be able to have that access. And right now, a lot of people aren't getting it.
I can't believe there's a time limit on some of them. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Peter, great news. You are generously donating your time again. The 25th annual WSB Carathon kicks off next Thursday, and we've got your Carathon incentive again this year. Thank you again for donating your time and your travel here. Tell the folks about the Peter Greenberg experience.
I'll be coming to Atlanta. We'll have dinner together at the studio, and I'll be talking all things travel to everybody who's smart enough to donate the money to the Carathon. It's going to be August 4th, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody to answer all your questions, and we'll have some fun, too.
Monday, August 4th. That's not the Carathon. That's when Peter's going to be in town for the Peter Greenberg experience. $200 donation. You and a friend or a coworker or spouse or side piece, whatever. You come here to WSB Radio. You get a front row seat for crucial travel news, must-have info, insider tips at this live event in the live lounge with CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg, a.k.a. the Travel Detective. I didn't know that was your moniker, the Travel Detective.
That's one of our shows on PBS.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, duh. The show is there. And you get dinner provided Monday, August 4th, 6 to 8 p.m. here at the WSB studio. So go to WSBradio.com/Carathon. You can buy them now. Get an early jump because this sells out. I'm going to be there with my wife. Always a great time with Peter Greenberg live in studio. And again, from all of us, thank you for donating this. Very generous of you, my friend.
You got it, Mark. But just for you, I'm limiting your time to only 10 minutes.
Well, if you're providing food, that's probably a smart idea. You don't want me to bogart all the food. Peter, great stuff. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon, my friend.
You got it, Mark.
There you go. Of all the listen, I want you to do all the Mark Arum Show incentives, the 999 dinner, the Mark Arum Show listener lunch. But for $200, you get a master class in travel from Peter Greenberg. It's phenomenal. It's available right now at WSBradio.com/Carathon. While you're on the website, you might want to hit in the $1,000 Thursday keyword for the 10 o'clock hour. It's WAVES, WAVES, WAVES. Enter WAVES into the WSB Radio app or at WSBradio.com/cash, and you can win $1,000, just like Gina did in the 9 o'clock hour. First, let's take a look at the Thursday morning drive, getting closer to lunchtime. Any big hot spots currently, Mark McKay?
Just picking up a slow spot, Mark, in Duluth, rolling into Norcross, and we know why. On the jam cam, looks like crash smack dab in the center lane of I-85 southbound, south of Pleasant Hill Road, exit 104. Collecting in that slow traffic back in the Highway 316 interchange. Continuing down I-85 toward Midtown Atlanta, easing up in northeast Atlanta. The delays from between Brookhaven, North Druid Hills Road, and 17th Street. Still a little tight on the southbound side of the connector and the northbound side. 75-85 northbound struggling still from Georgia State Center Park Stadium to I-20. Smiley Mark McKay, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
I try even when I don't agree.
The opinions expressed are his.
To at least exercise some basic empathy.
And that's what makes you listen.
Coming in like a wrecking ball, taking it all out. It's fantastic.
Eric Erickson.
Today, starting at noon.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Can you remember the last time you turned on the shower and all you got was cold water? Hopefully you don't have a fresh memory of that. Hey, it's Mark Aram. I want you to check out my friends at Reliable Heating and Air. Great new deal on a new water heater. Check it out, guys. Only $29.99 a month and no payments for 3 whole months. No credit check and an unbeatable lifetime warranty. Or you want to go tankless? It's only $59.99 a month and you can enjoy endless hot water. Think about those long, hot showers in the cold, cold winter. Their new water heater installations come with their 100% satisfaction guarantee, same-day water heater installation guaranteed, or they pay you $300. And with their Comfort as a Service program, you get lifetime repair and maintenance, no additional charges ever, no money down, and just easy monthly payments. So new water heater, $29.99 a month, or tankless, $59.99 a month. Amazing deal. Amazing hot water, amazing service. Go online to reliableair.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Hey, it's Shelley Winter. Expect more during the Golden Opportunity Sales event at Butler Lexus South Atlanta, where exceptional service and luxury meet. But act fast. These offers end September 2nd. Visit them now or call 1-800-NEW-LEXUS today.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-Ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-Ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. Mm-hmm. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well, and I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, Call us.
The Portfolio X-ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Georgia Power is here for you with quick tips to help you save on your bill this summer. Change your HVAC filter and check vents for flow. Set your thermostat at 78 for max efficiency, but every degree closer helps. Because summer savings mean more to spend on what really matters. Visit georgiapower.com for more energy-saving tips.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Gen Xers Unite. You all remember this theme song. It was from what TV show, Longoria?
Knight Rider.
Knight Rider. Happy 73rd birthday, David Hasselhoff. You might know him from Baywatch, but Michael Knight in Knight Rider is... yeah.
To champion the cause of the innocent.
Do you know what's funny about Knight Rider? So, Vinny, you've never even heard of Knight Rider, I'm sure, Vinny, right? Have you ever heard of that show?
Correct. Never heard of it.
So it was an 80s show. Hasselhoff... it was way before its time, Deborah, right? Because this is the 80s, and Michael Knight had a car called KITT, right? That was the name of his car.
Yep.
And it was a talking car, Vin, and it would drive itself.
It was a Transformer? Oh, no.
No, it wasn't.
Not
right?
that quite.
So, I mean, you think about it, in the 80s, we're like, oh, my God, imagine a car that talks to you. Like, all the cars that we can talk to them now, and this car could drive it. We have that now. I don't think it gets its due for being like...
You don't think of it like that, though.
Yeah.
Like when you're asking your car to go somewhere, and it's like, where do you want to go?
I remember it was an argument in the schoolyard, and, after I was done getting bullied, we'd have an argument and say, what car would you rather have, the General Lee or Knight Rider? And I always said the Knight Rider, unless General Lee was hand-delivered by Daisy Duke. Then that's it. I mean, Knight Rider was the coolest car on the planet. It could drive itself, and it had all these computers. Was that what kind of car was Knight Rider? A Trans Am? I don't know what kind. I don't even remember.
I don't think it was a Trans Am.
No.
I thought it was a Camaro, no?
It might have been. I don't remember. But I remember it was the coolest thing on the planet. Freaking amazing. Anyway, happy...
Firebird.
Firebird. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for that... I don't know what I was about to say. Let's update the Senate rescissions. Overnight, in a 51-48 vote, the Senate passed a package that claws back $9 billion of previously approved funding for public broadcasting and foreign aid. Torian Small has more on Capitol Hill.
Overnight was the passage of this bill by a very slim majority without Collins' support and Senator Lisa Murkowski. There was one other Republican we were watching, that's Senator Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. He voted against advancing this bill, but ultimately decided to side with the rest of the Republican Party and pushing this bill back to the House for its approval.
All right, but that's how you do it, right? All the funding of the government comes from Congress. So you can't unilaterally say, all right, this funding was already approved, it's gone. That's the proper way to do it. You take it to the Senate and the House and say, hey, rescind this funding, and then they vote to rescind it. That's democracy working as it is supposed to. So the rescission bill, a couple of Republicans were opposed to it, but it eventually got passed in the House, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, news, weather, and traffic in under 2 minutes when we come back. Hadriana Lowenkrown going to join us from Bloomberg News talking tariffs and major movement in Russia, Ukraine, and Israel, Syria. Colonel Jeff McCausland joins us live. Got another minute to enter the 10 a.m. keyword, $1,000 Thursdays. 10 a.m. keyword is waves. WAVES Waves. Go ahead and pop that into the WSB radio app. Good luck.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Hey, friends, is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking about surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Arum. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Game changer. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Listen, it doesn't cost anything for a second opinion. I want you to learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Call QC Kinetics today. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
You've thought about assisted living for your parents, but maybe the right answer is renovating your home and having mom or dad move in. I'm Richard, Chief Architect at Sketch House, where we create custom architectural drawings for homeowners looking to remodel. Why get drawings first? You'll know what's possible. You'll be able to get pricing and compare builders apples to apples, and builders love drawings. You'll get bumped to the top of their list with drawings in hand. Let Sketchhouse help you make a decision about your aging parents at a fixed price. Visit sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, HAUS.com.
This is Scott Slade. When it comes to your engagement ring, there's only one place I'd recommend. Tara Fine Jewelry Company, known for exceptional standards, craftsmanship, and legendary customer service. Tara's passion runs through every design they craft. Engagement rings you'll be proud to gift, cherish, and wear for a lifetime. You fell in love with her because she's unlike any other woman in the world. When it comes to your promise of forever, only a Tara diamond will do. Tara, specializing in diamonds of absolute beauty and legendary customer service since 1985.
News, weather,
Traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour brought to you by the Next Generation Xfinity 10G network. WSB's top local story.
Victims were asleep while he pried himself through a window.
A Lilburn man lands behind bars after carrying out a series of burglaries against his own neighbors.
28-year-old Darius Stokes is accused of burglarizing at least 9 residents at the Brentwood Downs Apartments on Pleasant Hill Road.
He actually lived in the same apartment complex. He was a neighbor of some of these victims.
Gwinnett County Police Corporal Juan Marieto says Stokes stole several game consoles and several $1,000s in cash, among other items. In one incident, he broke in while a resident was asleep. In another,
he did have an interaction with a victim. Victim was able to scare him away, and he left.
Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
It's 87 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards is looking for a mix of clouds and sun today with a high around 92, and they could see some pop-up showers here and there. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. Metal detectors are on the minds of the Gwinnett County School Board. They'll discuss a $19 million plan, which would put them at every middle and high school. Last year, the district piloted some AI weapons detectors at athletic venues. Heads up if you're driving in downtown Atlanta this morning. A portion of Peachtree Street is closed because of concerns about loose bricks on a building's exterior.
The emergency closure of Peachtree Street between John Wesley Dobbs and Williams Streets is a safety measure resulting from the deterioration of the facade of the building at 134 Peachtree, which is home to the Marriott Residence Inn. DOT officials are concerned about the possibility of falling bricks. Sidewalks in the area also are closed. The building is across the street from the Georgia Pacific Center and just down from the entrance to the Peachtree Center MARTA station. No word yet on when repairs can be done. The DOT says the closures will remain in place until further notice. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
On Capitol Hill, it's now in the hands of the House. The Senate passing Donald Trump's request to rescind about $9 billion in government funding for foreign aid and public broadcasting.
Rescissions are essentially funds that Congress has already approved, because that's Congress's role. And the White House also is able to ask Congress to take some of it back, to cut it away. And that That is what is happening here.
Caitlin Huey Burns reports the bill is heading back to the House because senators made a change which replaced $500 million in HIV prevention. It was an item wanted by GOP Senator Susan Collins. President Trump says Atlanta-based Coca-Cola agrees to use cane sugar in Coke beverages sold in the U.S. after his discussions with the company.
According to its website, Coke currently contains high fructose corn syrup. While Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy has waged a campaign against ultra-processed foods, he has not often singled out Coca-Cola for its contribution to public health.
That's Bloomberg's Erica Herskowitz. Coca-Cola says it appreciates the president's interest and says more details will be shared soon. Governor Kemp announces the maker of those popular Hawaiian rolls is expanding in Hall County.
More than 135 new jobs will be created as King's Hawaiian invests roughly $54 million in expanding its Oakwood facility. The company, founded in Hawaii, first established a presence in Georgia 15 years ago. The latest expansion will add a new production line at Oakwood South Industrial Park. Startup of that new line is expected in the second quarter of next year, producing more flavors of King's Hawaiian pretzel bites. New hires will be needed in management, maintenance, food safety, and quality control. Cheryl Castro, 95.5 WSB.
A new report out of Britain says dogs can smell Parkinson's disease. The study finds they are able to correctly identify Parkinson's in up to 80% of patients. It's 11:03. The Mark Arum Show continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, live team coverage of traffic and weather is starting right now, and Alex Williams joins us from the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Hey, good morning, Veronica, and some better news for those traveling 85 south between Duluth and Norcross. Hero and Police just blocked and reopened all lanes 85 southbound past the Steve Reynolds Boulevard Bridge before you get to Beaver Ruin Road to get trouble off to the right. All lanes are back open there. Elsewhere on the south side, seeing some volume 75 southbound starting just below Mountain Zion Boulevard, exit 231 as you make that drive down into Stockbridge, breaking free past Hudson Bridge Road. And downtown, still a little sluggish, 75-85 northbound from University Avenue up past Freedom Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy today with an isolated pop-up shower or thunderstorm. Hot and humid, high 92. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 93. Saturday, the heat goes on with a high of 94.
Right now, it's 84 degrees in Lovejoy, 83 in Mableton, and 87 in Midtown Atlanta at 11:05. More news at 11:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
This town to be near you.
11:05 on this fast-moving news day, Thursday. Welcome back, friends. Mark Arum and crew with you till noon. In just a couple of minutes, going to give you another keyword in the $1,000 Thursday. Another chance for you to $1,000 listening to the Mark Arum Show. After that, military analyst Colonel Jeff McCausland is going to join us live, break down the latest in the Russia-Ukraine war and the Israeli strikes against Syria and Damascus yesterday. In the meantime, though, I need a flowchart here in the studio to keep track of what's going on tariff-wise. Joining us with the details on the tariffs from Bloomberg News, Hadriana Lowenkron. Hadriana, as always, good morning. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
It's are you on speaker, Hadriana? I can barely hear you.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I'm gonna put you on hold for a second. Get off. The headline today when it comes to tariffs, President Trump sending out letters to more than 150 countries notifying that their tariff rates could be 10 or 15%. Hadriana is going to continue our coverage of that again now on the Mark Arum Show. All right, so what about these letters and what countries are getting them?
Well, I was laughing a bit earlier when you said you need a flow chart. We actually have a whole team for that over at Bloomberg, and I'm constantly looking at them. But the latest is so it's important to know what we're getting here, which is on the one hand, we have the president who is saying, he's hoping to negotiate with a bunch of different countries. But then on the other hand, we have him, sending out what seems to be, in a sense, these unilateral letters. And so we know that the EU, for instance, received one over the weekend. But even in that instance, not to take that in its face, in the sense that the president has made clear to us he still is hoping to get some sort of negotiation. And That's something that we're following very closely. Mexico as well, receiving something over the weekend. And the latest has actually been the president suggesting that there are going to be around 150 countries who are essentially set to receive some type of letter suggesting something in the 10 to 15% range. But again, the question is, does that mean that there isn't going to be more room for negotiation? And if his past, actions are any indication, it seems that process could still go on.
If you can, check that flow chart for me. Are we still in a tariff pause till August 1st for most nations?
Yeah, so we are eyeing that August 1st deadline. Of course, anything, could change. Something to think about when he is making these deadlines is really what is the purpose of them. And so he, of course, could at any point extend that. We were most recently, in looking at deadlines, thinking about what he has put out in terms of Russia, right? These secondary quote unquote tariffs, which could, sources are telling me could potentially mean sanctions. We're still trying to get a sense of what, is in the president's toolbox there. And in something like that, when you have the deadline of 50 days, that does seem like a longer lead line for a country like Russia. And so could that maybe be shorter? The president has indicated that could happen too, right? So things could be extended, things could be shortened. It's really, whatever the president decides to do. And it keeps us all on our toes for sure.
And that tariff he threatened with regards to Russia is a different kind of tariff. This tariff would not be on Russian goods and services, but it would be countries that deal with Russia, that buy their oil and natural gas.
Right.
And the two biggest consumers, I believe, of Russian oil and natural gas are China and India.
Right.
So, I mean,
we're still negotiating with them for trade. So it's a big circle here that's extending. It's like one of those webs. But yeah, I mean, that is a good point to bring out, right? And that's the use of that word secondary there. Could the president himself think about sanctions on Russia? That's another thing that we're trying to figure out. And so there's a lot going on in our world, but definitely something to keep an eye out for.
If nothing happens deal-wise, again, I really firmly believe the president's using these pauses, the August 1st deadline. He keeps moving it back to elongate negotiations with countries. But if August 1st comes and passes and we have no trade deals, do we have any idea how the markets will react to that?
That is a good question. I mean, what we've seen in terms of the markets, obviously, they were, way back in April when he had this, so-called Liberation Day, was it really did roil markets, and then immediately kind of coming back, walking things back helped soothe them. So the markets right now do seem to be a little bit, I guess, in a sense, maybe a bit more baked in to some of the uncertainty. We're not seeing as kind of stark shifts up and down, but if there ends up, the deadline passes and then the president just puts on a blanket, percentage, I think it would just depend on what that percentage would look like. And of course, there's so much that could happen and so many other factors that investors and traders are looking at, just tariffs, and then of course what's going on from a more vast geopolitical standpoint with the wars and oil and energy. There's so much going on, and so we'll see what happens.
Crazy times for sure. Hey, Joanna, if we want to follow, the listeners want to follow more of your reporting online, social media, where can we find you?
Just my full name, Hadriana Lowenkron. I know it's a bit long, but that is my Twitter handle, and that's where you can find me.
Hadriana, great stuff as always. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks.
There you go. Markets are up, by the way. First time checking today. Dow's up 90, Nasdaq's up $140, S&P is up 20. We mentioned there those tariffs that we just talked with Hadriana about. President Trump saying a 50-day window to negotiate with companies that are, countries, I should say, that are doing business with Russia when it comes to oil or not. Let's slide into the Russia-Ukraine war. Joining us live from CBS News, military analyst Colonel Jeff McCausland. Colonel, my friend, great to have you on the show. Good morning.
Hey, Mark, it's good to be with you.
So you and I haven't spoke since the latest comings and goings with the Russia-Ukraine war. What impact are we going to see now that the U.S. has agreed to sell all these weapons and munitions to our NATO allies?
Well, hopefully what we're going to see is the Ukrainians having a greater ability to thwart this ongoing Russian really offensive, where they've been pounding Ukraine with drones and missiles in an intensified fashion for several weeks. And consider the fact in the month of June, they launched over 5,000 drones and missiles against Ukrainian cities, and it's routine now for them to launch several hundred drones on every single night. And the Patriots are critical, particularly to intercept the ballistic missile attacks, which have been causing, increasing civilian death and injury throughout the country. But of course, longer term, will that change the calculation on the battlefield? And I'm not so certain that is the case. The Ukrainians also need other things like longer range weapons that could interrupt the advance of Russian forces and supplies and strike Russia more deeply, and then continued support in things like artillery ammunition, which are key for them, as well as targeting information, command and control, et cetera.
You mentioned longer range missiles, Colonel. President Trump, went on the record saying he doesn't want Kyiv to attack Moscow. Does that take a tool out of Zelensky's tool belt if the president says, hey, don't attack Moscow?
Well, it's certainly something the Ukrainians would like to do because, again, they're trying to change the calculation that Putin has, and eventually he's going to win. The Russians have made steady, albeit very, very slow progress in the last couple of months at incredible cost. I mean, the Secretary of State, Mr. Rubio, said the other day that over 100,000 Russians have been killed since January, and now estimates they've suffered over 1 million casualties. But again, Putin thinks he can continue this pressure up. Eventually the West will lose interest, lose support, and eventually he'll be successful in securing not only the territory that he says is Russian, but basically neutralizing Ukraine, getting rid of the Zelensky government, and making Ukraine basically a puppet to the Russian Federation.
President Trump gave Putin a 50-day window to negotiate. Is that too long, do you think?
I personally think it is. I mean, what's magical about 50 days, except that it pushes you now to early, if not mid-September. This period of time right now is critical because this is the primary so-called campaign season because of the drier weather. This is when the Russians, if they're going to make advances, are going to have the most success. You get into the fall, you get more rain, battlefield turns muddy. So as a consequence, this is prime time for them to advance. And furthermore, as I said a moment ago, if they're now, launching hundreds of drones every single day on Ukraine, well, 50 days, do the math, 700-800 drones a day. We're talking 5,000 to 10,000 more drones and additional ballistic missiles striking Ukrainian cities until the president makes up his mind. And furthermore, the Russians have so far kind of dismissed this threat, saying that, they're not too worried about it. The stock market in Russia went up. And I think they also believe Mr. Trump is somewhat notorious about setting deadlines, using economic levers, and then kicking those particular deadlines down the road.
Yeah, when I saw that 50-day deadline, my initial reaction was, well, that gives 50 days for Russia to get more Ukrainian territory before they get to the negotiating table, because we know the end game for the Russians and for Vladimir Putin is to try to acquire as much Ukrainian land as possible to have leverage in the negotiations.
No, that's exactly right. And Mr. Putin has been very consistent in what his objectives are, and he's been very, very clear about that. And that's why I think the president's kind of conversion has kind of come late and kind of slowly. He's been a reluctant convert to this, saying at the onset of his administration that he could end this war in one single day. Well, that hasn't happened. And Mr. Putin has been consistent in saying, my objectives are the following. Ukraine has to renounce any possibility of joining NATO or the EU. All this territory I say is mine is now Russian. The international community has to acknowledge that, to include Crimea. You got to remove all the sanctions. The Ukrainian army needs to reduce to less than 85,000. Zelensky government needs to go away, and a more positive Russian government come into place. And he's even talking about how Russian being made the official language of Ukraine. When you do all those things, those are the so-called root causes, and Mr. Putin is glad to negotiate. Well, that's basically saying when you surrender, I'll negotiate.
Colonel Jeff McCausland, military analyst from CBS News, joining us live on the Mark Arum Show. During the show yesterday, Colonel, we covered the breaking news of Israel striking Damascus, Syria yesterday. Why did they do that, and what does that mean for the broader sense of possible peace in the Middle East?
Well, of course, Syria has been really in chaos ever since the collapse of the Assad government and the victory by rebels who are now trying to rule the country under a guy by the name of al-Shara. But, Syria remains a very divided place. And the Druze population that live in the southwestern portion of Syria and kind of straddle the border between Syria and Israel have been a strong supporter of Israel in many ways, and the Israelis have been supportive of them. There have been attacks against the Druze by Bedouin tribesmen militias and concerns that the Syrian military under the new leader has been attacking the Druze. So these are attacks by the Israelis to thwart those efforts and convince the Syrian government not to attack the Druze. In addition to that, in southern Lebanon, of course, the Israelis, as in Syria, occupy a certain amount of territory in the aftermath of their war with Hezbollah. And so they're claiming they're striking targets, their Hezbollah infrastructure that is still in those areas that, based on the ceasefire, Hezbollah has promised to remove and promised to disarm. The Hezbollah, of course, is saying on the counterpart that's not true, but it's all really part and parcel of the aftermath of those conflicts and very fragile ceasefires that exist while Israel continues to occupy territory in both Lebanon and Syria.
Yeah, and we heard from the interim president of Syria after the attack yesterday.
The Israeli entity resorted to a wide-scale targeting of civilian and government facilities and would have pushed things to a wide-scale escalation without the effective intervention of American, Arab and Turkish mediations, which saved the region from an unknown fate.
Yeah, he said anyone starting a war with Syria would regret it. Do you think the possibility that this extends into a greater war?
So once again, it certainly could. We've seen this war spread from the initial conflict between Israel and Hamas to bringing in Hezbollah. The Israelis then, in the aftermath of the collapse of Assad, moved in and occupied portions of Syria. The Houthis down in Yemen continue to launch weapons, missiles, and drones against Israeli targets. And there was announced by CENTCOM just the other day that they had intercepted up to 750 tons of weapons being shipped likely by Iran, heading for Yemen, which included ballistic missile parts, drone motors, and the like. So it's still a very, very fragile, chaotic situation, and to include, of course, the ongoing ceasefire that exists between Israel and Iran. Those places, something could go wrong, unfortunately, and we could see this return to wider spread violence.
Colonel, great insight as always. As always, we appreciate your time, my friend.
Thanks, Mark.
There you go. Colonel Jeff McCausland, CBS News military analyst. I'm so sorry. I am tardy for the party. I neglected to give you the 11 a.m. keyword and $1,000 Thursdays. It is Bucks. B-U-C-K-S. Bucks. Enter Bucks into the WSB Radio app or WSBradio.com/cash. Keyword is Bucks, B-U-C-K-S. You got to 11:59 a.m. Chance for you to win $1,000, just like Robin did in Sandy Springs. She won $1,000 last hour, the 10 a.m. hour, during $1,000 Thursdays. Your 11 keyword is Bucks, B-U-C-K-S, Bucks. Good luck. Got to say that one slowly, Alex Williams. Bucks, B-U-C-K-S. You know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Also know we're talking about some slow traffic heading into downtown through Midtown, Mark. 75-85 southbound. Sluggish from 17th Street as you make your way down to North Avenue, where they got a stall off to the right there. 85 south out of Duluth into Norcross, still recovering. You're slow from 316 down toward Beaver Ruin Road, where they got a crash off to the right. And right lane construction toward Lithonia, I-20 eastbound before Panola Road, exit 71. Traffic brought to you by Whole Foods Market. Save on summer's sweetest flavors at Whole Foods Market. Get 18 ounces of organic blueberries for $5.49 each with Prime through July 29th while supplies last. Shop in store or online. Terms apply. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Hey, I'm Chris Chandler. When you join us Friday starting at 5 a.m. for Atlanta's Morning News, we'll get you ready for the weekend with Triple Team Traffic, our exclusive 5-day forecast too. Does the president get a controversial money bill to his desk before the Friday deadline? We'll recap a dramatic White House week in a regular Friday chat with CBS's Nancy Cortez, who's there, and Clark Howard's good news if you're looking to go on a cruise. Plus the breaking Metro stories from overnights on WSB.
This is Scott Slade, and nothing takes the place of time when it comes to spotting problems with your health, especially cancer. The earlier, the better. That's where virtual imaging comes in. Virtual imaging's LDCT body scan can be invaluable, giving you more time for you and your loved ones to take charge of your health. They can detect tumors as early as precancerous virtually anywhere in your body, and aneurysms you may not even know are there. Due to overwhelming demand for a limited time, their $995 core body scan offer has been extended. It's a $2,495 value. Early detection saves lives, and now it's more affordable than ever. Virtual Imaging has gotten such great response to this offer that they've opened up more times in both offices, but appointments will fill up fast, so don't wait. Some minimum requirements may apply. Early detection is your best protection. To schedule your virtual imaging $995 core body scan, call 770-678-SCAN. That's 770-678-SCAN. Or make an appointment by visiting their website at virtualimagingatl.com.
It's our 20th anniversary at North Georgia Replacement Windows, and we're celebrating with our biggest sale in company history.
It's Ted and Jonathan. For a limited time, save 25% on beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows and doors.
Celebrate with us and upgrade your home's energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. Window and door shopping made simple.
Hurry, 25% savings ends July 31st.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2798. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2798. That's 800-575-2798. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hi, I'm Trisha, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where we're all about you, your style, your budget, your dream engagement ring. Are you looking for a style that's classic, modern, vintage, or something in between? Not sure? At Shane Company, we're here to help. We have so much style under one roof because a friend knows you like options. Drop by or visit us at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Summer is a lot of fun, but it can also be the most dangerous time on the roads. There's more construction, teen drivers, bikers, cyclists, and what we all despise, congestion. Hey, it's Smiley Mark McKay. Summer wrecks happen a lot. If you've been hit, call my trusted team at John Foy & Associates, the Strong Arm. They specialize in personal injury law with a winning track record taking on big insurance companies. There is zero cost until they win your case. Call 24/7 for your free case evaluation. JohnFoy.com.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer with experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Summer is peak hosting season, right? Don't let a grimy house keep you from having company over. It's Chris Chandler, and Wise Guys Pro Wash got my place clean and bright and guest ready in just one day. They handled everything, house and deck, driveway, even my dirty roof, and their soft wash kept everything safe. No paint peel, no damage, just clean. If you got people coming over this summer, be sure Wise Guys Pro Wash comes by first. Mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off at wiseguysprowash.com. Book now before they fill up.
11:26 on the Mark Arum Show. I'm so sorry I was delayed in giving you the 11 a.m. keyword in the $1,000 Thursdays. It's Bucks. BUCKS Bucks. You can enter that into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBRadio.com/cash. You can win $1,000. We already gave away $2,000 during the show. 7 chances to win in toto today. The giveaways continue during Eric Erickson, noon to 3, and then EVH and the Doctrinaires starting at 3 p.m. here on WSB. But your 11 a.m. keyword is Bucks, BUCKS. While you're on WSBRadio.com, go to WSBRadio.com/Carathon. 25th annual WSB Carathon kicks off next Thursday, giving you early access to the incentives, the Mark Arum Show listener lunch, the Mark Arum Show 999 dinner, Peter Greenberg's travel seminar, me and Clark and you at Costco. So many great things you can pre-buy right now at WSBRadio.com/Carathon. News, weather, and traffic straight ahead. When we come back, in-depth coverage on the future of the Fed chair, the Epstein story that just won't go away, and some breaking news when it comes to nominating a federal judge. We'll get you caught up to date next on The Mark Arum Show.
Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing, must-visit shops. And how healthcare offices become the data managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business. Powering possibilities.
Now through July 21st, new customers can get started with 300 megabit internet and Security Edge for $69 a month for 24 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, find out how to get a $500 prepaid card for your business. Call and switch to Comcast Business today. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Right now, Beaver Toyota of Cumming is loaded with fresh inventory, and they're offering huge savings, low financing, and all the Beaver benefits. See them on the web at beavertoyotacumming.com. The Toyota Tundra from Beaver Toyota of Cumming, the official truck of the Home Fix-It Show.
You've thought about assisted living for your parents, but maybe the right answer is renovating your home and having mom or dad move in. I'm Richard, Chief Architect at Sketch House, where we create custom architectural drawings for homeowners looking to remodel. Why get drawings first? You'll know what's possible. You'll be able to get pricing and compare builders apples to apples, and builders love drawings. You'll get bumped to the top of their list with drawings in hand. Let Sketch House help you make a decision about your aging parents at a fixed price. Visit sketchhouse.com. That's sketch, HAUS.com.
Hey friends, is that knee, hip, or shoulder pain just not getting any better? Are you stuck in a cycle of steroid shots and now they're talking about surgery? Before you go down that road, hit pause for a second. Hey, it's Mark Arum. I want to tell you about something that helped a lot of people get their lives back without more meds and without going under the knife. It's QC Kinetics, leaders in regenerative medicine using treatments like advanced cellular therapy and platelet-rich plasma, all designed to actually help your body heal itself. Game changer. Real results that let you move easier and live better. Listen, it doesn't cost anything for a second opinion. I want you to learn more about something that could be life-changing. A licensed medical provider will go over your x-rays or MRI and see if you're a good fit for these breakthrough treatments. Call QC Kinetics today. 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 11:30. I'm Veronica Waters. WSB's News this half hour is brought to you by Rocco's European Garage. WSB's top story this hour, it's a nationwide call to action today with roots here in Atlanta.
John Lewis famously encouraged people to go out and make good trouble.
Protesters around the country will be out in force today as they draw inspiration from a late Georgia congressman on the 5th anniversary of his death.
The day of action is being called Good Trouble Lives On, evoking the words of the late Georgia congressman and civil rights leader John Lewis. Organizers say some 1,600 events are planned across the country. One of those, organized by Helen Butler with the Georgia Coalition for the People's Agenda, will include a march from the John Lewis mural downtown to Ebenezer Baptist Church.
We're going to really be engaged in making sure that we educate our community.
Other events are planned at the King Center, downtown Decatur, Marietta, and Kennesaw. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It's 89 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards is forecasting a mix of clouds and sun today with a high around 92. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. You know, a lot of things can make it easier or harder for firefighters to douse a blaze. On the hard side, it could be weather, low water pressure. But Smyrna firefighters at an early morning blaze battled a pretty unusual accelerant.
The occupant stored materials for hobby rocket building. This included solid rocket fuel.
Rocket fuel. Lieutenant Evan McBrayer says there was extensive damage to the home on Deborah Drive, but no one was home. The fire marshal is working now to determine what sparked this blaze. A serial burglar is cooling his heels in the Gwinnett County Jail. Gwinnett County Police say between June 2nd and July 7th, officers responded to 9 burglaries at the Brentwood Downs Apartments on Pleasant Hill Road, and at least twice the victims were home during these break-ins. Police say forensic evidence pointed to 28-year-old Darius Stokes, and they didn't have to go far to find him. Stokes lives in the same apartment complex. The state Supreme Court is set to welcome a new justice this month. Governor Kemp appoints Judge Benjamin Land to fill the vacancy on the state Supreme Court following the retirement of Justice Michael Boggs earlier this year. Land was appointed to the Court of Appeals in 2022. The governor hails his integrity and strong work ethic. Land was the dissenter on the 3-judge appeals panel, which took Fulton County DA Fonnie Willis off the Trump election meddling case. Heads up, if you are driving in downtown Atlanta today, a portion of Peachtree Street is closed because of concerns about loose bricks.
The emergency closure of Peachtree Street between John Wesley Dobbs and Williams Streets is a safety measure resulting from the deterioration of the facade of the building at 134 Peachtree, which is home to the Marriott Residence Inn. DOT officials are concerned about the possibility of falling bricks. Sidewalks in the area also are closed.
The building is across the street from the Georgia Pacific Center. The latest snapshot on the economy is a pretty good picture. Correspondent Jim Ryan says tariffs do not appear to be making an impact on the jobless rate.
In the week ending July 12th, 221,000 out-of-work Americans signed up for unemployment benefits, 7,000 fewer than the week before, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Analysts were expecting initial claims to rise.
Applications for unemployment are viewed as a proxy for layoffs. It's 11:33. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And to the WSB 24 Traffic Center to start your commute, it's Alex Williams looking out for you.
And just found a new crash over on the east side perimeter, Veronica. 285 southbound getting slower through Clarkston from Highway 78, the Stone Mountain Freeway, down to this right lane crash at Memorial Drive, exit number 41. 85 south through Duluth and Norcross. Still seeing a few brake lights from Highway 316 down to Beaver Ruin Road. And the volume continues on the south side. Luckily, that's all it is. No crashes in the way, just the brake lights. 75 southbound in Stockbridge from Highway 138. But it gets much better once you pass Hudson Bridge Road, exit number 224. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Epworth. A mix of sun and clouds today, high 92. An isolated pop-up storm can't be ruled out. Lows tonight in the mid-70s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, high 93. The summer sizzle continues Saturday with a high of 94.
86 degrees right now incoming. It's 84 in Clarkston and 87 in Midtown Atlanta at 11:34. More news at noon. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
The 25th annual WSB Carathon right around the corner, and we want to thank our friends over at Sudlow Concrete.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
For their contribution and continued support for the kids at the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children's.
Thank you for all your support.
You can donate right now at WSBradio.com/Carathon.
Won't you please donate?
If you fire the chairman of the Federal Reserve, you will see...
Coming up next, we'll go back to D.C., the future of the Fed chair. Plus, Deborah's got tickets to give away to see Sir Paul McCartney. All of that next on The Mark Arum Show.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where AquaGuard comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at aquaguard.net/row.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey everyone, it's your buddy Shelly Winter here. Join me this Saturday at noon for The Car Guys with Kevin Deutsch from Butler Lexus of South Atlanta. Buy or lease, fix or sell, everything you want to know about cars, we will cover Saturday noon to 1 right here on 95.5 WSB.
Got a leaky pipe? Trouble with your AC? Ace Hardware Home Services is right around the corner with trusted pros to fix it. From plumbing to heating and cooling, we'll keep your home running smoothly all year long. Get help today at acehardwarehomeservices.com.
Exciting news for homeowners out there. This is Deborah Morton, host of Inside Georgia Real Estate here on WSB every Saturday at 1 p.m. My team and I are now proud partners with the iconic real estate brand, The Agency. As we launch the Atlanta market, we now have multiple offices covering Metro Atlanta. What this means for you as a home buyer or seller is that you will now have access to the agency's global resources. In this changing market, it is essential to hire the most experienced agency to represent you. And if you're a seller, you'll get the agency's proprietary marketing, which brings you more buyers, more offers, and ultimately sell your home for more money. My team and I are here for you as your real estate experts. In the meantime, we have all your answers about real estate every Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on WSB. And you can always reach out to me at InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com. That's InsideGeorgiaRealEstate.com, now partners with the Agency Atlanta.
When it comes to your home, quality is crucial. Trust the Plus. Painting Plus. The Plus means siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and of course, painting.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. Quality comes first. We have the most experienced exterior craftsmen in the industry.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
11:37. Welcome back to this $1,000 Thursday edition of the Mark Arum Show. Your 11 a.m. Rewind. Your 11 a.m. keyword for $1,000 Thursdays is Bucks. B-U-C-K-S. Bucks. Enter that word into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBRadio.com/cash. You could win $1,000. Don't have to wait, though, till we announce the winner there. We have amazing tickets to give away right now, Deborah Green.
Yep, pair of tickets to see Sir Paul McCartney at State Farm Arena on November 3rd.
Goodness gracious. If you've never seen Paul McCartney, now is your chance. Vinny, 14th caller to 404-872-0750. 14th caller to 404-872-0750. You will win a pair of tickets to see Sir Paul McCartney, courtesy of the Mark Arum Show and WSB at the amazing State Farm Arena. We're going to go back to correspondent John Decker at the White House in just a second, but this news just popped last segment. Senate Judiciary Committee Republicans voted today to advance the nomination of Emil Bove. I think I'm pronouncing that right. He's President Trump's former personal attorney to a federal judgeship, that over the loud protest of the Democrats. The vote, in which all 12 Republican committee members voted to move his nomination forward, occurred as Democratic Senator Cory Booker railed against committee chair GOP Senator Chuck Grassley and said, or as every Democrat walked out of the vote. So the Democrats did a walkout of this confirmation vote. Here is Senator Cory Booker, Democrat from New Jersey.
What is another half an hour to allow senators to be heard? It's what the Constitution mandates. It's the ideals of the United States Senate. The world's most deliberative body should take a decent amount of time to deliberate.
And that was the senator from New Jersey. This is Republican Senator Charles Grassley, Chuck, if you will, from Iowa.
What happened here today is no different than when Democrats cut off debate on Judge Kashubi and Judge Lee against Republican protests to continue debate in November of 2023.
All right, so Democrats walked out. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Erickson will talk about that. I am sure, though, however, noon to 3 on WSB. All right, during the show yesterday, correspondent John Decker joining us from the White House, we dipped into the press conference President Trump had there in the Oval, and the Fed chair's future was brought up. John, you were in the room with the president. What are the headlines from that press conference yesterday?
Well, that's right. You know, I think it all started actually the day before. I asked the president a number of questions regarding Jerome Powell, including when was the last time he spoke with Jerome Powell? What did they talk about? And the president told me he spoke with Powell a few weeks ago in the Oval Office and told him, according to the president, he wasn't doing a good job. And then, you know, Mark, I wanted to see his reaction. I asked the president, will you nominate Jerome Powell to another 4-year term? And I just wanted to see his reaction. He looked at me and he said 4 words: "You must be kidding." In any case, yesterday he was asked a variation on my question: Are you going to fire Jerome Powell? And the president said no. And I take the president at his word. Jerome Powell's term ends May of next year, Mark, and the president has indicated he already has a number of replacements in mind, including the president's chief economic advisor Kevin Hassett to replace Jerome Powell when Powell's term ends in May of next year.
Yeah, we had her reporting that prior to that Oval Office press conference yesterday that the president had drafted a basically "you're fired" letter, presented it to some folks inside his orbit, and as a result, we saw the markets start really low, dip yesterday on the threat that Powell might get fired from his job, but he kind of walked that back yesterday when talking to reporters.
He did walk that back. Now, it's the president. He can walk back the walk back. He can change his mind. But as he said yesterday, he does not intend right now to fire Jerome Powell. But he did have a caveat. He said if there's fraud, different story. And the president has suggested that the cost overruns concerning a building project at the Fed building could be the basis for that fraud. I think that's a stretch, but that's what the president is suggesting. And it certainly will be something that there's an inspector general over at the Fed. I'm sure that individual will look into these allegations that the president is making, but unlikely that this will be the pretext to fire Jerome Powell. And the Supreme Court, by the way, earlier this year indicated in a ruling that in order to remove the Fed chair, you need cause. You can't just fire him because you don't like the fact that he didn't lower interest rates. You need cause. And cause certainly would be something like the idea of fraud. But again, I think it's a stretch to say that the Fed chair is presiding over any fraudulent activity as it relates to those cost overruns over at the Fed building.
White House correspondent John Decker joining us on the Mark Arum Show. Even if Powell resigns or fired with cause and President Trump can, name his replacement, that doesn't guarantee that interest rates will suddenly drop, right? Because it's not just the Fed chair that makes this decision.
That is a very good point. So Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, is just one vote among Fed governors who vote in terms of whether to raise or lower interest rates or keep them unchanged. So even if you replace Jerome Powell with, let's say, Kevin Hassett, the president's chief economic advisor, there's no guarantee that even if Kevin Hassett wants to lower interest rates, the other Fed governors would go along with him on that decision.
John, final question. Anything we're looking forward to today at the White House?
Well, it's a quiet day as far as the president is concerned. He intends to, in the afternoon, sign some executive orders. I don't know what they are just yet, but sometimes those events get opened up to a very small group of reporters, and perhaps that's what the president will do later this afternoon. There is a White House press briefing with Caroline Leavitt. That will happen at 1 p.m. Eastern today.
All right, we'll see if Mr. Epstein is brought up during that press briefing.
I am sure he will be. Absolutely. No doubt.
White House correspondent John Decker. Great stuff as always, John. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mark. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
News team will monitor that press conference. And again, the breaking news you heard live during the show, Attorney General Pam Bondi set to have a press conference at Alcatraz Prison, not Alligator Alcatraz, but the actual Alcatraz out in California. We'll see what her announcement is. Again, the news team will be all over it throughout the day here on WSB. Deborah, no surprise and no shock to anyone. I love dogs more than people. You sent me a puppy story. The puppy life was saved by Narcan.
Yeah.
Why did this puppy need Narcan?
Oh, it was a really sad story. So firefighters were able to rescue a puppy using Narcan. I guess they saw this dog and it was inside a vehicle. It was unresponsive, and apparently there was some fentanyl in this car, but firefighters were called. They smashed the car window. They were able to get the dog out. And I don't know why, but they decided to use a little bit of the nasal spray Narcan, just a small dose, and they were able to reverse the effects of the opioid. So the puppy is okay, but they didn't release any details about the owner of the dog or the future of the dog.
That police officer deserves a raise. That should be the chief of police to say, what's going on with this puppy? Oh, there's fentanyl in this car. Give me Narcan and save the puppy's life. That's amazing. I do love people. I love people, yes, but I love dogs so much more than people. I mean, they're just the best. The dogs are absolutely the best. Earlier in the show, we talked about how much credit card debt Americans are carrying and what a great day it was so many decades ago when I temporarily paid off all my credit cards and was debt-free. States with the most people in financial distress. Well, the first one, I don't know if you can relate to this, Longoria, but Texas is the state where people have the most financial distress.
I can see that.
You can see that, really?
Yeah.
I would not have said that. Top 5, Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Nevada. Everyone going to Vegas to losing their life fortune. And South Carolina. This I wouldn't have guessed. What state do you think has the least financial stress? Any idea?
I'm trying to think. Somewhere in the Midwest somewhere?
Yeah, I would have thought like Vermont maybe.
Yeah.
Or no, it's
Montana.
Hawaii.
Oh, I can see that. Everyone's relaxed and just chill.
They got no troubles out there.
No, yeah, but everything's so expensive. That's why I was
that would
surprised
stress
to
me
see
out.
that. Vermont is the second least stressed. Deborah, where does Georgia fall on this list of people with the most?
Georgia comes in. We're actually number 13, so a little bit closer to the top.
A lot of financial stress there. Connecticut, my home state, is 24th. Deborah, you are from the woods of Wisconsin. 41. All right.
Yeah, no worries.
No worries there. Maine's at 43. All right, so Texas has the most stress when it comes to finances. Hawaii has the least stress. Georgia, 13th most stressful financial state. You can relieve some of that stress right now and win $1,000 during $1,000 Thursdays. Your 11 a.m. keyword is Bucks, B-U-C-K-S, Bucks. Enter Bucks into the WSB Radio app or online at WSBradio.com/cash. And you, my dear friend, could be $1,000 richer. Take away some of that financial stress. Traffic stressful as well. I know that for sure. Let's get the live latest from Atlanta's only 24-hour traffic center, Mr. Alex Williams.
And hopefully I can bring down that stress level for those on 285 southbound. The inner loop stuck in that traffic between Tucker and Clarkston because the crash is now on the right shoulder. All lanes open, 285 southbound, Memorial Drive, exit 41. So that slow traffic back toward La Vista Road will start to improve. Elsewhere, 75 and northbound up through Marietta and Kennesaw. Some moderate volume from North Marietta Parkway, heading up to Chastain Road, exit 271. And in town, you have construction. It's in the right lane of the Buford Spring Connector northbound, approaching that ramp to I-85 northbound. So make sure you stay to the left there. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
It's the 25th annual WSB Radio Carathon, July 24th and 25th.
All of us at WSB team up to benefit the kids at the Aflac Cancer and Blood Disorders Center at Children.
Won't you please help?
Donate online today at WSBradio.com/carathon.
Thank you for your support of Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
This is Jonathan Geller at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and I'm so excited to invite you to our designer pop-up event July 19th and 20th. Come see extended lines of engagement rings, wedding bands, plus brand new wedding day and fashion jewelry from the top designers in the industry, like Zakori's signature crescent designs that give your ring a personal artisan touch. So don't just look for a ring, find the perfect ring at D. Geller & Son's designer pop-up event July 19th and 20th in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs. RSVP online at dgeller.com.
At Ameris Bank, we know that it's never just business when it's your business. I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Whether your business is looking to optimize cash flow, improve your payment technology, or grow more quickly, my team and I are here and ready to help with a superior level of service, smart banking technology, and local market expertise. I invite you to reach out to my team by visiting amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Oh, popsicle drips, muddy shoes, and summertime messes, don't let them take over your home. Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Zerorez uses their ZR water technology, no dirt-attracting soaps, no harsh chemicals, just a truly clean, healthy home. Right now, take advantage of their summer sale. Get 15% off all services, that is carpets, air ducts, rugs, tile, and more, all 15% off. Just mention Chris Chandler or book now at ZeroResAtlanta.com, and yeah, they do commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, all they leave is clean.
Bicycles, pool toys, sports equipment, all this stuff is moving in and out of your garage all summer long. Ugh, your poor door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. With all this summer abuse, your garage door system has a lot that could need repair. Springs, cables, tracks, even the opener. All Four Seasons services all major brands 24/7. Our products are warranted, our work is guaranteed. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
What we love about our ability to help patients at QC Kinetics is seeing their pure delight at finally being able to do the things they enjoy without pain.
I had a patient start treatment with me. He wanted to be able to be active again and do some of his sports that he really enjoyed.
Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics, treats patients with chronic joint pain using their body's own biologics. The goal? Get them back to living their best lives without surgery or harmful drugs.
He came back and he goes, what I wasn't expecting was the ability to play on the floor with my grandchildren. Even just saying it now, I have goosebumps because it's changing those small moments that you take for granted.
Don't let joint pain rob you of those moments. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
It just warms my heart to be able to help people live the life they want to live and get those small moments back.
Call QC Kinetics, 770-285-8026. That's 770-285-8026. 770-285-8026.
When someone's AC is on the fritz, drains are clogged, or wall outlets are sparking, Castile Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical never asks, how soon do you need it fixed? You know why? Because no one in recorded history has ever said, oh, take your time, just whenever you can get to it. We just assume how fast can you get here will always be the answer. So Castile will be there same day, and we won't leave until you're 100% satisfied. See? Sometimes it's good to assume. It gets your AC fixed fast. Book today at CastileAir.com.
Trust is not just a word, it's an experience. When your home needs service, you can trust TE certified electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. TE is the company I trust to fix any problem once and for all. Their 5-star customer experience means easy online scheduling, friendly technicians, and a lifetime workmanship warranty, so I can just sit back and relax.
TE certified, we love your home.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE. Happy 49th birthday, Luke Bryan. Here's his number one single, Drunk on You. Longoria, I am drunk on you, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
Congrats to Mark in Alpharetta. He won a pair of tickets to see Sir Paul McCartney at State Farm Arena November 3rd. I don't think, Deborah, that Paul McCartney is going to do a Luke Bryan cover, but you never know. You never know what Sir Paul is want to do. Today is World Emoji Day. I am a big fan of emojis. I love the fact that, prehistory humans started with, like hieroglyphics. And then we developed language and writing skills, and now we're going back to hieroglyphics. Are you an emoji fan, Deborah? Not as big as I am, but you use them sometimes.
I use like a handful of them, but not a lot.
Yeah, I've got my go-tos, the thumbs up, the fist bump, the laughing guy, and rarely the angry thing. But here's if someone hacked my phone, if I send you a one emoji response, that's not me. For some reason,
you do the triple.
I do 3. I'll give you 3 thumbs up or 3 smiley, whatever. So if you get a text from the Georgia Tolls Department and it says it's Mark Arum collecting a toll, and there's just 1 thumbs up emoji, it's not me. I do 1, 2, 3 emojis. Anyway, happy National Emoji Day to all.
Longoria's Fact of the Day.
It's also National Tattoo Day today, and evidence of tattooing dates back over 10,000 years, with the oldest mummified remains found with tattoos being over 5,000 years old. The modern tattoo machine was inspired by a design by Thomas Edison.
Longoria just got some new ink.
I did.
When he was in Texas. Related, maybe, I don't know, out of the blue, Maya yesterday, I think we were watching a TV show, and she's like, "Did you ever have an earring?" And I laughed.
No.
I said, "No, I would not look good in an earring." She goes, "What about when you were younger?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "Yeah, you're right."
Yeah, you're right.
You couldn't pull off that earring. I remember my best friend in college wanted me to go to the Poughkeepsie Galleria Mall and get my ear pierced. And I was like, no. Not that I'm opposed to them. I don't want to draw any more attention to my head or face than possible.
Yeah.
I'm a 4. I recognize that. I want things to distract from my face. Maybe I should get like a sleeve tattoo, so people don't look at my face.
Yeah,
they look at my arm
Yeah.
instead. All right. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow on the show. Hey, a couple minutes left for you to enter the 11 a.m. keyword, $1,000 Thursdays. Your 11 a.m. keyword is Bucks, B-U-C-K-S, Bucks. Enter Bucks into the WSB Radio app or WSBRadio.com/cash, and you can win $1,000. Keywords will continue noon, 1, 2, 3, 7 chances for you to $1,000 today on 95.5 WSB.
And now, are you guys ready for the Mark Arum star of the show?
Vinny stopped for Chick-fil-A on his way in. My man. Fist bump. Vinny gets a star of the show. Longoria, you were very stoked today. Good job on the other side of the takeout window. A lot of moving parts, but you handled it well. We had correspondent John Decker at the White House. He gets a star of the show. Stephen Portnoy from ABC News discussing the Epstein story. Travel expert Peter Greenberg joined us live. Don't forget, you can jump in the Peter Greenberg experience. Pre-order that on the WSB Carathon incentives page. Go to WSBRadio.com/Carathon. Hadriana Lowenkron. Actually, I'm taking Vinny's back. Vinny's like, it's Lowenkron, dude. It's Lowenkron. No, it's Lowenkron. I was right. Erase that, Deborah.
No.
White out Vinny, star of the show.
That's not what I did.
Colonel Jeff McCausland gets the star of the show. Tomorrow on the show, man, Deborah, I'm going to give you 2 of them tomorrow. Live in studio. You ready, Longo? Dress up. The Hulk, Lou Ferrigno.
I know.
Live in studio tomorrow on the Mark Arum Show. I am beside myself. Good job booking him, Deborah. All right, continuous updates of the big stories throughout the day here on the Nifty 750. I will be active on socials at Mark Arum, MarkArum. Stay safe. Have a great Thursday, Atlanta. Hadriana Lowenkron.
Lowenkron.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
WSB consumer expert Clark Howard, sponsored by Ragsdale Heating, Air, Plumbing, and Electrical.
So all the talk about AI. Well, one of the places that it's showing up is medical facilities where you're not able to speak to a human. You're only able to speak to a computer-generated voice that may or may not understand what you're asking about. And this is so frustrating. It's not in order to serve you better. It's in order to avoid providing the kind of service you deserve